A very good afternoon and welcome to the CRNFC grounds here at Longdon Place. It's an absolutely fantastic day for rugby. The weather is fabulous. There's a little bit of cloud cover. There's a gentle breeze blowing across this ground. The conditions underfoot are absolutely perfect, and if the rain stays away, we'll see an absolutely cracking game of rugby today. We're seeing St. Thomas's and Isipathana contest to junior games, but we're all waiting for the one that has been building up for the last 4 months. That's the game between the two undefeated sides. St. Thomas's today hosting Isipathana. Isipathana runners-up from last year. St. Thomas's haven't won a league in 16 years, so there's a lot of weight of expectation on the shoulders of both these teams, and it's going to be an outstanding game, and we at Dialogue TV and ThePapare.com are very happy to bring you this wonderful match from this beautiful venue. It's going to be an outstanding game of rugby for sure, and the first man we have to talk about today's match, the next 80 minutes, is going to be crucial for Pandula De Silva, the Thomian captain, who joins me now. Pandu, good to have you on board. St. Thomas's, the last time that they won a league title, you were probably about 3 years old. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the game, but it's important to keep our nerves settled and settle into the game fast, because it's an important game for us and for the school as well. So yeah.
And how has the preparations been since your good win last week? How has it been? A bit relaxed?
Yeah, we have been working hard actually, and not only on this week, throughout the year as well. So yeah, it feels good to be in this position right now.
And what are the confidence levels? You've beaten the same opposition at the Sevens tournament, Pandu. You think your forwards coming into the side will add you a little bit more?
Well, to be honest, it's a different game, 15s and 7s. Yeah, but we play a bit of power play with our forwards. So yeah, let's see after the game.
Looking forward to carrying the ball a lot today?
Definitely.
Good luck, Pandu. Great to have you here. That was Pandula De Silva, who is the captain of St. Thomas's and the man who has been responsible for quite a few unbeaten schools teams in the recent, well, not in the recent past, but in the early 2000s. Coach Tavita Tulagesi, who is Samoan by birth, but Sri Lankan by nationality almost. Laga, good to have you on board, coach of St. Thomas's. How are you feeling about this game?
Hi, Bon. Hi, Shanaka. Yeah, we're fairly confident. I think we've done the work. And we've played 8 games so far, so I think this side is matured at the right time. So I'm quite happy with where we are.
Mentally, that's where the game is going to be won and lost. This Isipathana side keeps coming back into games. They're not a team that's going to go away. So how have you prepared for that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you got to be prepared for that. These guys they've got nothing to lose, and they'll play the whole 80 minutes. So we've gone 100 minutes. I've asked for the boys to play today, so should be a good day. Yeah.
And you saw Isipathana really making inroads into the Royal line-out last week. You saw them really contest the forwards at the breakdown as well. Are you expecting more of the same?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's where it's gonna get win or loss for us. But we've sort of concentrated on the small things. We've decided in the beginning of the season how we're going to play this season as well. So and these boys have rallied very well, and they worked hard to get to where we are. So we're not going to let it go. Yeah.
Last week against Science Laga, it was a complete shutout. You didn't let them cross the line or score any points. So that must make you happy in the face of a very proficient Isipathana attack today.
Yeah, I know. We worked hard on defence, put a lot of effort into it as well at training. And it was quite satisfying. Yes, last week against Science, I thought Science were good at patches of the matches, but we put our bodies on the line. The boys put their bodies on the line, and the contact area, we got to win that today as well to get in front of Isipathana. Yeah.
Any changes, Laga, for today's team?
No, it stays the same. Sarif will come in at centre and stays the same, yeah.
Okay, so good luck, Laga. I think it's the last time you coached an unbeaten school side. It was Royal in the early 2000s. So lucky to be back in schools rugby now.
Yeah, loving it. Yeah, I'll enjoy it a bit more if we get to the end. Yeah.
All right, Laga, good luck today. Go well. That was Coach Tavita Tulagesi of the Thomian team. He seems pretty relaxed. The Thomian camp seems pretty relaxed. And the men who came in runners-up last week, this week, they're hoping not to come runners-up. They're hoping to come a little bit more than runners-up this time around. And they will take the attack to St. Thomas's today. And the man who has been at the forefront of Isipathana's undefeated campaign so far, Kushan Indunil, their captain, joins me now. කුෂාන් මේ මැච් එක ගිය පාර වගේම ගිය අවුරුද්දේ වගේම මේ තත්ත්වෙම හිටියා. ඒ අත්දැකීම කොහොමද අද මැච් එකට බලපාන්නේ?
ඇත්තටම මේ ගොඩක් ලොකු අත්දැකීමක්. මොකද අවුරුදු ගාණක් මේ විදිහට ඇවිල්ලා මොකද 2014 අපි ට්‍රිපල් චැම්ප්ස්. මොකද ගිය අවුරුද්දේ ට්‍රිපල් රනර්ස් අප්. මොකද ඒ වෙච්ච ලීග් එකේ වෙච්ච දේ මේ අවුරුද්දේ කියන්නේ අපි ගත්තු කප් එක අපි රැකගත්ත කප් එක ගිය අවුරුද්දේ අපිට අයිමි වුණා. අපේ බලාපොරොත්තුව මේ අවුරුද්දෙත් මේ කප් එක අයිමි වෙන්න දෙන්නේ නැතුව අපි රැක ගන්නවා.
ගිය අවුරුද්දෙත් ටීම් එකත් එක්ක බැලුවම කුෂාන් මේ ෆෝවර්ඩ්ස් තමයි පොඩ්ඩක් බැක්ස්ට වඩා පොඩ්ඩක් වීක් වෙලා තිබ්බේ. හැබැයි මේ අවුරුද්දේ ඒක සෑහෙන තත්වයකට හොඳ තත්වයකට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. ගිය සතියේ රොයල් ටීම් එකත් එක්කත් සෑහෙන හොඳට ෆෝවර්ඩ්ස්ලා කම්පීට් කරා. අද මේ තෝමියන් ටීම් එකත් එක්ක එහෙම ගහන්නද බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ?
ඇත්තටම මේක ටීම් ගේම් එක. මොකද ෆෝර්ඩ්ස්ලා ත්‍රීස්ලා කියලා මගේ ටීම් එකේ වෙනම නෑ. ෆෝර්ඩ්ස්ලාත් හොඳයි ත්‍රීස්ලාත් හොඳයි. කම්බයින් වෙලා මේ මැච් එක ලොකු තරගයක්. ඇත්තටම මේ තෝමස් කියන්නේ ගොඩක් හොඳ ටීම් එකක්. මොකද නැත්තම් මේ වගේ ෆයිනල් එකකට මේ වගේ සෙකන්ඩ් රවුන්ඩ් ෆස්ට් රවුන්ඩ් මේ වගේ අන්බීටන් වෙන්න අමාරුයි. ඇත්තටම ලොකු තරගයක් තියෙයි කියලා මම බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
කොම්බිනේෂන්ස් ගැන කතා කරාම කුෂාන් ඔයාගේ සුමුදු රංකොක්කේගේ තියෙන සම්බන්ධතාවය සෑහෙන මේ සෙන්ටර්ස්ලා දෙන්නෙක්කින් මම දැකලා තියෙන සෑහෙන කාලයකට පස්සේ ආපු කොම්බිනේෂන් එකක් තමයි මේ කොච්චර කාල ගහලා තියෙනවද ඔය දෙන්න එකට?
ඇත්තටම දැන් අවුරුදු 3ක් දෙන්න එකට පොඩි කාලේ ඉඳලා දෙන්න එක ළඟමයි ඉස්සෙල්ලා කරන්නේ. මොනවා කරත් දෙන්න එකටමයි ඉන්නේ. ඉතින් මේ ඒ දේ අද වෙනකන් පොසිටිව් රග්බි තාක් කල් වෙනකන් ගොඩක් ලොකු බලක්. මොකද අපි දෙන්න කම්බිනේෂන් එක කියලා එක ඉවරක් කරන්න කොහොමද අමාරුයි. මොකද ඒ වගේ දෙන්නෙක් එකට සෙට්ලා එක තැන කැප්ටන් වයිස් කැප්ටන් වෙනවා කියන එක ලොකු මේ එකක්. ඉතින් දෙන්න ලොකු කම්බිනේෂන් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඉස්සරහටත් ඒක කවදාකවත් නවතින්නේ නැතිව ඉස්සරහට යන එක තමයි මගේ බාව.
ඩ්‍රෙසින් රූම් මේ කොන්ෆිඩන්ස් ලෙවල්ස් කොහොමද?
ලොකු කන්ෆිඩන්ස් මේකක් තියෙනවා. මොකද ෆයිනල් එක කියන්නේ දන්නවා ඉතින් ලොකු ප්‍රෙෂර් එකකුත් තියෙනවා නැතුව නෙවෙයි. ඒකේ මේ කොන්ෆිඩන්ස් ඕවර් යන්නේ නැතුව normally
Okay, Kushan, thanks a lot. All the best today. That was Kushan Indulil, captain of Isipathana College. The challenges today, they're the triple runners-up last year, and they will be hoping to go a little bit better than that. They've already runners-up in one tournament so far. That's the 7th tournament, and that's against the same opposition. And a man who's been doing a lot of work since that 7th tournament is Nilfa Ibrahim, the head coach of the Isipathana side. And here he is to talk to us. Nilfa, triple runners-up last year in 2015, triple champs in 2014. What's it going to be in 2016?
So last 3 years, if we take, we have come 10 finals and we have won 3 losses, and I think it won't happen again.
Are you confident this time around, Nilfa? You've done a lot of work against the big forwards from last year to this year. Forwards have improved tremendously. You've got Terence Henry in your coaching lineup as well. How much work have you done to improve that aspect of your game?
Henry is still playing as a player, and he knows in and out. So we train our forward to do this and that. So that happened in the Royal match. So I don't think St. Thomas game also they will play a better game.
What is your game plan today, Nilfa? How do you see yourself beating this Thomian side? Do you have to kick, or do you have to run at them? Do you have to take them wide? What can you tell me now?
I can tell you after the game.
I thought as much, but are you confident, Nilfa, with what's happening now? Are you confident with the preparations that have happened so far? Last week's big win against Royal, that must have given you some confidence against big boys.
Yes, I think St. Thomas team a good side after a few years. So backs and forwards get together, and I think we are better than them. Then it will be a good match. So we will win.
Okay, so you're confident of winning today?
Yes.
All the best, Nilfa. Good luck to you and your team.
Thank you.
That was Coach Nilfa Ibrahim. He's a man of a few words, but you can see his products on the field. He's a man who understands exactly how to make these teams do exactly what they need to do on the day. He prepares himself for the teams differently. When he's preparing for a team that runs, he prepares differently. A team that has forward power, he prepares differently. And he's got a very good coaching lineup right through the middle to the juniors, and that's why this Isipathana team has been so consistent. As he said, St. Thomas's haven't won the league for a long time. They've come up with a good side after several years. The weight of expectation on the Thomian shoulders as well. We'll see how they go, but we'll see that on ThePapare.com and Dialogue TV in just a few moments. We'll be back after the break.
One for one is all I want. One for one is all I need.
Here, what's all this one for one talk?
The 1-for-1 plan from Dialogue. Get 1 MB free for every 1 minute of talk time. Per second charging and a flat rate to any network.
Dialogue 1-for-1 prepaid plan. Dialogue, the future today.
Huh?
ළමයෝ දැන් ඩේටා වලට ඔච්චර ලෝභ වෙන්න ඕන නැහැ. ඔන්න ඩයලොග් හෝම් බ්‍රෝඩ්බෑන්ඩ් එකේ ඩේටා ඩබල් වෙලා.
එහෙනම් ඩබල් ගෙවන්නත් වෙයි.
නෑ, තියෙන ඩේටා වගේ ඩබල් ලැබෙනවා පරණ ගානටම නොමිලේ.
ශ්‍රී
ලංකාවේ අංක එකේ සහ වේගවත්ම ඉන්ටර්නෙට් සම්බන්ධතාවයෙන් දැන් රෑට ඩේටා ඩබල් වෙලා.
ඩේටා ඩබල්.
ඩයලොග් අනාගතය අදයි.
Sri Lanka is now connected to the globe like never before. The 100G plus Bay of Bengal Gateway submarine fiber optic cable now delivers the single largest infusion of global bandwidth to Sri Lanka at a capacity of 6.4 terabits per second.
Sawadika, can you give me data SIM?
Massage?
No, data SIM.
Massage, very good.
No, data SIM.
You are Sri Lanka? Why you no use Dialogue data roaming? Unlimited data, $5 a day.
Unlimited data for just $5 a day?
Yeah. Unlimited, same massage you want?
Me?
Unlimited data roaming for just $5 a day with Dialogue roaming. Clearly the best way to roam.
Here, where can I get a data SIM? I say, old chap, where might a fellow find a data SIM card? Yannako.
You're from Sri Lanka, right?
How did you know?
Why don't you use Dialogue data roaming? Unlimited data for $5 a day.
Unlimited data for $5 a day and...
Data unlimited, my patience isn't.
Unlimited data roaming for just $5 a day with Dialogue roaming. Clearly the best way to roam.
This is the story of a nation on the move, competing globally through a fiber optic network, delivering solutions instantly with superfast 4G, redefining entertainment with 3G HSPA+, making every day more efficient with Wi-Fi, bringing a world of knowledge to your home with fixed 4G. Get connected to Sri Lanka's fastest network. Dialogue, the #1 choice of the people. Dialogue, the future today.
Hello, Amma. Where are you?
I'm almost there. Give me 5 minutes.
Outgoing and incoming calls restricted to 4 parent-approved numbers. No SMS or internet, SMS emergency button, location tracking, and many more security features. Secure your child's world with Dialog Suraksha.
It's such a relief to know that he's always safe with Dialog Suraksha.
Available at all Dialog customer care centers island-wide. Dialog, the future today.
Hi. මං හිතුවා ඕස්ට්‍රේලියා ගියට පස්සේ ලංකාවේ පාරවල් අමතක වුණා කියලා. හොයාගන්න අමාරු නේද? ෆෝන් එකේ ඔන්ලයින් මැප් එක තියෙනවනේ. මෙහෙ ඉන්ටර්නෙට් හරි ෆාස්ට්. එන ගමන් ඊමේල් ටිකක් චෙක් කරගත්තා. දැන් මෙහෙම තමයි. හොඳම ක්‍රැබ්ස් තියෙනෙත් මෙහෙනේ. අයියෝ අද මැච් එක මිස් වෙනවනේ. නෑ. අපි ෆුල් කනෙක්ටඩ්. මෙතන ඉඳලා ලයිව් බලන්න පුළුවන්. ඔසී වලත් මේ වගේ නෑනේ. ලෝකෙම හොඳ මේවනේ මෙහෙ තියෙන්නේ. දවසින් දවස මේව අලුත් කරන්නේ ඩයලොග් තමයි.
ලංකාවේ අපේ ජීවිතවල නවතම තාක්ෂණයෙන් සුවිසල් පෙරලියක් කරන්නට අද මෙන්ම හෙටත් ඩයලොග් නිබන්ධව කැපවෙයි.
Live from London Place, you're on ThePapare.com and Dialog TV. Hello and welcome back to the live coverage here live from the CRNFC ground. You're on ThePapare.com and Dialog TV. We're looking forward to the massive final, the clash of the two unbeaten teams, Isipathana and St. Thomas's, to clash here and decide who is going to win the title. St. Thomas's in a chase for a title after 16 years. Isipathana not so long, just a couple of years wait for them. They were runners-up last year in the league after winning it in 2014. And to discuss today's game, I have with me two gentlemen who played opposite each other for these two teams. Shamli Nawaz, former Isipathana captain, CRNFC captain, and of course national rugby player, and first 15 captain from St. Thomas's, Chanaka Jayawardena, both of them captaining in 1998. Joining me, first question, Shamli, to you. How is it that Isipathana manages to maintain so much consistency in these league tournaments?
Shanaka, because Isipathana, I think there's only one sport that keeps them going so far, because Isipathana loves to play rugby, and the lads from the junior levels, as you saw today, they put their heart and soul to the game, and I think that brings up to the top level. And Isipathana, even the crowd, they come and cheer a lot, because today, and looking around, you can see the crowd building up, and I think Isipathana, they are motivated on this rugby and the rugby development committee, and they are doing a great job taking it forward.
Yeah, it looks like they are doing a great job. Jacka, from the point of view of St. Thomas, it's been 16 years since they produced the champion side. There was some consistency in the early 90s, but then it fell away a bit, and then we had that one team in 2000, but after that it's fallen away, went down into the BBA. What needs to be done? The fireworks have already started. What needs to be done for St. Thomas's to maintain that same sort of consistency?
I think it's more to do with a matter of the coaches giving the boys proper instructions, getting them into positions better. And also the culture of rugby has died down somewhat in St. Thomas. When we were young, we used to start playing rugby when we were 9 or 10. I think it has become where people phase out after under 16s, under 17s, under 18s, they phase out, they concentrate on other things. So I think it's a matter of bringing up an under 13 side all the way up to the under 19s. That is what Isipathana is very good at. So that's what brings out the best in players, where you can fix them up when they come into the under 19s, that they do something more than they know what to do.
The last time that these two gentlemen played in their school jerseys, the boys who are going to be playing out there in a few moments, they were probably about 1 year old. Wazi, how much has the game changed since then?
Actually, Shanaka, I can't believe playing rugby now with these guys. The number of rucks have increased, and when we were playing, I think it was line out straight away, ruck in the corner, so the ball will be gone to the wide to the win 3/4. And we knew that there was a ruck in the corner, so we will just run there. But now rugby is so changed. They change the sides, they change of directions, and lot of rucks, and even the backs they have ruck now, because those days the backs say, I can see my back line, they come after a game clean suit. But now as I was a forward, I can see I was muddy and everything, and these guys are really clean. But now it's totally changed. 12 to 15 guys, they play the whole game, and I think the meters they run even is measured, and everybody is running more meters than us. That I think I am 100% sure the game has developed a lot.
And how has the school system kept up with that? Do you think we are in a good position in terms of technical development?
Definitely, because I think Sri Lankan rugby, when you compare schools rugby and the club rugby, I think schools rugby is much popular and on a top level, and the boys play good rugby because there are a lot of good coaches coming, foreign coaches coming in and giving their knowledge, and I think most of the edition schools had foreign coaches, so I think they get the latest techniques and stuff, and I think clubs also can learn a lot from the school season.
Jacka, how do you see this St. Thomas's side actually coping well with the changes in the rugby itself? Because their centres are big, they're big right through to the wings, they've got good strength, so the focus has been in the right areas, hasn't it?
I think so, but I think though our rugby, the players are bigger, I think there are a few things that we need to change around in the way that they do their conditioning, which is they're more on a linear track. We need to change this where their movements are better. That's the only thing that I would see. Other than that, I think our boys are good. And about the question I think the training has changed so much. Like you and I never used to spend much time in the weight room. We spend more time on the field. Now it's more about total training, total rugby, like Sandhya said.
The fireworks have begun, as you can see, and hopefully that will be before the game and after the game, and during the game the fireworks will only be within the four corners of this pitch. Wazi, coming to today's game, how do you see it going?
Today's game, actually, the both teams are equally balanced team, and I can say the St. Thomas team is also, long time I have not seen a St. Thomas team balanced like this. Even the forwards are doing a great job, and the backs also doing some good running, because most of the scoring was done by the backs this year for St. Thomas's. Isipathana, it was a normal scenario. The backs do a lot of running and scoring. But when we compare Isipathana's Royal game, I think the forwards played a massive role in that win, because they stopped the rolling maul, and they were getting the hits, and they were defending really well. So if Isipathana can manage, if forwards can manage that performance, I think Isipathana will have the edge over St. Thomas's. But St. Thomas is also doing some thrilling game. I think it's till the end, the final whistle, we can't say who will be the winners.
Yes, Wazi playing it safe there. Jacka, are you going to take a more aggressive position?
Well, the Isipathana side, there's no doubt that they're brilliant. Like the forward pack was supposedly in doubt, but they performed really well against Royal last weekend. And I think the center pairings and the wing recorders, the back three are amazing. What our boys can do is we need to defend really well, and we need to slow this pace down. We need to play at our pace so that Isipathana doesn't take matters into their own hands and run right around us. So we need to slow it down. We need to keep the game at our pace, and we should be able to do this. Drive it up with our forwards.
Who do you think they'll be looking to really extract the players? I mean,
yes, absolutely. And I think our skipper is doing really well. The boy makes some brilliant runs. He's everywhere. He's in the ruck. What I would like is our third row to step up. They have been making hits, but I don't think they've been doing the work that a third row needs to do in the last few games. They've been riding it a bit on the other boys. I think if they step up today, we should be able to sort this out.
All right, so as expected, the two gentlemen are taking their own positions. Jacka saying St. Thomas's is going to win. Wazi is saying that Isipathana are going to win. We don't know. We'll find out in just over 80 minutes or so. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us live on ThePapare and on Dialogue TV. We'll be going to a commercial break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
වෙතන නම
ඔබ ළඟ රැඳි නම
සනසුම දෙන නම
එය සිංහ නම
මිහිර මවන නම
අවස නිවන නම
සෙනෙහ බෙදන නම
එය සිංහ නම මුළු පවුලට සතුට සදන සිඟ අද විශිෂ්ට විශ්වාසය
Every breath you take, every move you make, every game you play, every word you say, I'll be watching you. Every step you take, I'll be watching you. Every step you take, I'll be watching you. Every breath you take, every step you take, every move you make, every game you play, every word you say, I'll be watching you. Every move you make, every step you take, I'll be watching you.
Progress starts with a dream. Through connectivity, technology, and talent, that dream can become a reality. Asiata, with you every step you take.
Michael Jackson burlesque movie Malvane kinna sanga Navala pitiye yureni me Sedavate reggae pop male
Enna dan rompila, lo pura sersalala, lo que me trende do video play. Yapana ye Rajnikant, Kurta me Shahrukh Khan, Lolo yengala vila, lo que me visibila, lo que me trende do video play.
ලංකාවේ ඕනෑම තැනක ඉන්න අපේ ලෝකෙන් වීඩියෝ ලෝකෙට විසිවෙන්න ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ වේගවත් ජාලය සමග වීඩියෝ ලෝකෙ රිසිසේ සැරිසරන්න
අපේ කැමැත්තටම බෑනේ රටින් අයියගෙනුත් අහන්න ඕනේ
ඩැඩි මේ ඩයලොග් IDD ඩැඩි දැන් බෝනස් තවත් වැඩි
අනේ ඩැඩි
ඉතින් වැඩියෙන් කතා කරන්න වැඩියෙන් hina වෙන්න
Check one. Hello.
වැඩි වෙලාවක් වැඩි දෙනෙක් එක්ක වැඩක් ඇති ගොඩාක් දේවල් වැඩි වැඩියෙන් කතා කරන්නත් පුළුවන් ලෝකෙ ඕනම රටකට වැඩි වැඩියෙන් කතා කරන්න ඩයලොග් IDD දැන් බෝනස් තවත් වැඩි කළා වැඩේ හරිද ඩැඩි
A very good afternoon and welcome to the CRNFC grounds. Live from Longton Place is the finale of the Singer Schools rugby season. It's been an outstanding season. For 4 months we've been waiting for this game, and despite a few hiccups, both teams remaining unbeaten. And those are the captains who will be doing battle out there, leading their teams in the unbeaten clash today for the finale of the Schools Rugby Championship. Who will be crowned winners of the league in 80 minutes? That's the question on all of our minds and the minds of all of you joining us from your living rooms or wherever you may be on ThePapare.com, wherever in the world you may be, or on Channel 1 on Dialogue TV. That's the man who's in charge of the game today, Irshad Kader, giving very clear instructions to Pandula De Silva on your right there and Kushani Dunil on your left, along with his assistant referees. And it's going to be a cracking game for sure. Both teams very confident, both captains very relaxed when I spoke to them a little while ago as well. And I'll be speaking to quite a few gentlemen in the commentary box. Paul Toya joins me. Paul, it's going to be a fantastic game today, and joining us for expert comments as well, Asala Dilivera Tenakun from St. Thomas's and Shamli Navas from Isipathana. Paul, it's going to be a really, really well fought game. I'm sure of that much. But if St. Thomas's play well, they should be able to shut this one out. But we saw last week Isipathana feed off scraps and they do it so accurately. So how do you see this one going?
Thanks for the welcome and good afternoon, viewers. Look, I can't really see how anyone can look into a crystal ball and see what's going to happen here. There's a lot of people filing in already, and it's a packed house here. It's sold out on one side of the field. There's people streaming in on the other side of the field, and it looks like there might be some Croatian supporters in there with some fireworks going off. Above us, the skies are a little bit grey. It looks like there might be a little bit of rain. There's a little bit of wind around. The track's firm, so we'll be having running rugby, and who knows what's going to happen in today's game? Whether it's going to be the forwards of St Thomas's and their varied attack that they have, or is it going to be the running centres of Isipathana that are going to make the difference? We know both teams play for the full 80 minutes, so there'll be a full game of rugby. I can't say who's going to come out on top at the moment.
Well, wonderful pictures there from our camera crew down on the grounds. They're doing a lot of hard work there. That's Nilfa Ibrahim, the man who led this team to the triple runners-up position last year. They were actually runners-up in the sevens in the league and also the knockout tournament. He'll be hoping to go one better in all those three competitions. But moving to Shamli Nawaz, we were talking, Vazi, a little while earlier about the consistency of this Isipathana team, but you seem to be able to churn them out even at lower age group levels. What's the population of the school, and how many players do you have coming for rugby at in a given age group?
I think there's a population about 5,000 students in Isipathana, and rugby training, I think junior under 10 is very popular. About 100-120 boys turn up for training. When you come up the ladder, I think it will be around 30-40 players turning up for under 12s, 14s and 16s like that. So I think there's a rugby population, and there's some old boys still run. Parents are really keen in playing rugby at Isipathana.
Well, it looks like it is the most popular sport, that's for sure, because the crowds turn out in droves, even if it's going to be a one-sided game more often than not. And Isipathana started off with a bang, a 65 points thrashing of Dharmaraja in their first match, and they haven't looked back. So they are at the top of the league, Paul, at the moment. They've got 1.5 points more than St Thomas's. So what that leads to is the fact that Isipathana can afford to draw today and still win the league title. But for St Thomas's, they absolutely have to win it because they're 1.5 points below. We've got another game happening today, that's Science versus Royal. That will decide third place because there's 2 points between those two as well. And Trinity plays St Peter's up in Kandy. Wesley plays St Anthony's also up in Kandy. So all the points table at the moment, all those positions are up for decision. But does that mean that Isipathana are in with an advantage? Will they go in thinking about that 1.5 points, or will they just go out for the win?
I think both coaches know that today it's all about what's on the paddock. We can talk about strengths and weaknesses and how a forward back's going to go, and all the talking that can be done and the preparations can be done during the week all count for naught when they step onto the paddock, so that's what's really important. Both coaches will make sure that their attitudes are that they won't be going in to try and draw a game for Isipathana. They'll be going in to win, and they'll be playing every single encounter and every single contact as if they must win that mini contact as well. So that's the attitude that they need to take in.
Well, that's the Thomian fans waiting in anticipation, the Thomian Legion as they are known. Asala Delivera Tanakon, welcome back to the commentary box, mate. Long time no see. What is the weight of expectation for this Thomian side? Isipathana have won 11 league titles, Royal sitting up at the top with 13 league titles, but St Thomas is in third place with 8 league titles. But the last time they won was way back in the year 2000, so that's 16 years ago. It's been a long wait.
Thanks, Losanaka. Certainly it's been a long wait for the Thomians, and this is, I think, by far one of the best sides the Thomians have produced during the last 15 or 20 years. And the problem, or the thing that they have to look into, is the breakdown. If you compare the Science game, there were 5 yellow cards in that game, and there was no proper discipline in the breakdown. They were going over and having all sorts of trouble there. And I think the coach has to have a good word, especially with the forwards going into this game. And it's all about persisting and controlling your decision-making skills at the breakdown, because that will be a decider in this game.
Man on your screen, a former Isipathanian, one of Shamli Nawaz's former teammates, both at Isipathana and at CRNFC, Dinesh Kumara, and he's the assistant coach and strength and conditioning coach of this team. So it'll be a bittersweet experience for him. I'm sure he will be wanting his team that he coaches to win, of course, but he is an old Isipathanian, so this is the team that he once played for, and this is the front three. They're not very tall, but Wazi, Kavish, Majusran, Hasita Mahapitigama and Isuru Ekanayak have been very good in their defense, haven't they?
Yes, I think in defense and ball carrying wise, Isuru does a lot throughout the season.
And here are our big boys. This is the big unit in the Isipathana pack. Sudhira Gayanath, he's the main line-out jumper. And Lahiru Viswajit, they'll be expecting a lot from him. He's 105 kg, so he's the man that they'll look for. And again, Vagesha Veerasinghe, he's the number 8. He's all over the park. He's not very heavy, just under 70 kilos as well, and not very tall. But Adisha Veeratunga, line-out steals, and Devin Gunaratna, Umalka's brother. This is the trio that are going to win this game for Isipathana today if they want.
Turnover ball will make a huge difference in today's game.
And this is the halfback combination once again. Harit Bandara and Randy Silva, brother of Rehan Silva from last year. Got a good kicking game, Vazi.
Yes, last game I think Randy had a good kicking game. I think he got territory and touch at wanted time.
But this is the combination for me, probably the best combination that I've seen since Jayasundara and Kaluarachi, since Tilina Manoj and Gayan Veeraratna. How good are these boys?
I think these two boys are training really well and very strong lads. I think they're hard runners. I think they'll make a huge difference in this game.
And the try scorers, the back three, so lethal, Vasi. Who do you see scoring today? Is it going to be Chamod or Ranindu or both?
I think it's up to this thing. Ravindu will do a lot of work, but Chamod can deceive the opponent really well, I think, sidestepping and stuff.
Yes, and also Gayan Vikramaratna. Let's see whether his boot comes into question today as well. That's the bench. Manabarana comes off the bench quite early in the piece. Umesh Jayamana, Vikas Vimadava, Ilusha Yasas. And that's the coaching team. Assistant coach and the forwards coach Henry Terrence, and Nilfa Ibrahim is the head coach for Isipathana, and he will be hoping to do one better than he did in the same position last year against Royal College when he came to the decider. Unfortunately, Isipathana couldn't convert, but he will be hoping that things will be a little different this time. So Umalka Gunaratna captained Isipathana last year, and his brother Devin plays in the open side flanker position. Paul, he got the man of the match last week from us here in the commentary box, and he'll need another big game today this time as well. So let's move to Asala for the Thomian card. And this is the big front row. Last time a front row forward won the league was in 2000, but the captain and vice captain both in the front row. Will that mean that they need leaders outside?
Certainly they have leaders outside Shanaka, but these front three have been playing like three quarters, good ball handling skills, and I'm sure they'll play a big part in the breakdowns and the scrums.
And another really competent line-out unit, Asala, Wayne Mack and Harit Seranayaka. Wayne carrying the ball, but Seranayaka has been dominant at number 2.
Yes, they look to Harit Seranayaka for the line-out throws.
And here's the other combination that needs to be really on their mark. Christian Delilah has had a super season, as has Shani Vahangama, and Satish Jayatilaka with that weight off the back. Should be interesting.
Yes, Satish Jayatilaka certainly does play a big part in this Thomian outfit. And Delilah will be silent. You won't see him that often, but he'll be doing the hard, dirty work for the Thomians.
Yes, he's a 7 who plays like a 6. And here's Chuti or Senal De Silva and Bhuminda Disanayak. A little bit disappointing from Disanayak. A lot expected from him, but not lived up to his expectation yet.
Yes, I'm sure he's leaving the best for the last game. So hopefully he comes good for the Thomians today.
Ashwanta Herath and Praveen Ferdinando. There's a chance that Sarit Nanayakara might actually start in place of Ferdinando today. Ashwanta has been a rock for them, hasn't they?
Yeah. Ashwanta does join the forwards as well, so he'll look to do the same, continue from where he left off during the science game.
And here's another varied but really lethal back three. Once again, Dhanuja Vijayaratna started life off as a number 8. Mayon Jayawardhan, a really good counter-attacking skills, and the top prize scorer of the season. Navin Henakamkanam gets so much pace out wide. Do you see him scoring today?
Yes, certainly he's the weapon for St. Thomas's, and the Thomians should basically make sure that he has enough ball in this match.
Watch for the guys coming off the bench, especially number 17, Adisha Hadun Patirana and Dion Dias. They will make a difference when they come on late in the game. Jan D'Souza at number 27, just a 16-year-old, played the game just a little while ago. He's coming onto the bench. Abhita Navaratna, Kavin Jayasekara, Shenuk Pereira adds some bulk. Sarit Nanayakara will probably start, and Chanuka Manoratna and Hans Walpola will be the backup fly half, and he will be hoping he doesn't come into the game as early as Tamani Walu had to do today for the All Blacks. So head coach Tavita Tulagesi and assistant coach former Isipathana and Dinesh Kumara. It'll be a bittersweet evening for him, but Laga has produced champion teams here before. Paul, and I saw you talking to him before kickoff. What was he saying?
He was saying they had a pretty easy week training this week. He said mentally they're there, so he doesn't need to work on them as far as that's concerned. What he was concerned about was their roles and responsibilities at the breakdown, making sure that they go in and clear the ball and treat the ball with some respect. I'm also looking forward to seeing their ball handling skills off when they work off 9. Their front 3, they use their hands very well. They attack from different angles. They change the point of attack really well. So that's a feature of their game, and I thought he's brought that here today. But he said that there's a problem in that they all want to be the man who runs and passes, and they don't necessarily want to be the man that goes and does the dirty work and cleaning out.
Well, that's one thing that they will have to do for sure, because this Isipathana third row is going to be on the ball like a pack of hyenas. That much is for sure whenever it goes to ground. But thinking about the pack weights, obviously St. Thomas is much heavier. Do you think they'd like to use that advantage and keep it close, play it very narrow like Royal did last week?
I'd say they'll look at the Royal game and look at how Royal starved Isipathana of the ball and use their forwards to really dominate them physically, and they'll be trying to get over them the same way that Royal did, but you can't do that in the first 5 minutes. You can try and bash them up in the first 5-10 minutes, but it's not going to work because the physical aspect of it only really comes into play in the last 20 minutes of the game. So they'll try and soften each other up for sure, but they'll have to work on their accuracy and make sure they hold on to the ball. That's the important thing in the first half especially.
Vazi, Nilufar, I asked him what the game plan was. Obviously, he wasn't going to tell me before the game. But what do you think? You've been a coach before. You've been coaching up till last year. You've been involved with this Isipathana team when you were coaching there as well. You would have coached some of these players in the system. What do you think they are going to go to?
I think Isipathana will stick with their normal game pattern of just having a one hit or just going wide, because I think they're still banking on their backs for this game also. I think they'll not have a huge change in strategies, but territory-wise, I think they will have to rethink about exiting from their 50 as soon as possible, because otherwise they'll be in trouble, because St. Thomas's have speed and corners are really strong. So, and in defensively, I think Nilufar will always try to cut the ball going to the win 3 quarters of St. Thomas's and have a chance because he has scored 11 tries. So I think he will try to stop the ball going to the win 3 quarters.
Yeah, that's going to be the really interesting contest for me, because Sarit Nanayakkara and Ashwanta Herath have been very strong. But Paul, do you think that they've got enough when moving laterally to combat the real class that Kushan Indunil and Sumudu Rankotke, the Isipathana centres, bring to the party?
Well, I was asked Coach Lager that exact question, and he said he doesn't believe that they've been challenged at all. So he wants his centres to come up and actually make hits on them and actually really put pressure on them and see how they go under pressure. And he thinks that might be a question that they haven't been asked before, and that's where they might be lacking.
So Asila, St. Thomas's, just give it out quickly and run straight into the 12-13 channel, take the game breakers out of it?
Well, initially I think they look to go in with their forwards, hit it up, especially with guys like Deja Priya, Pandula and Sachita, and basically get the whole Pathanian defense softened up, and then once they soften up, give the ball across to the centres, and hopefully Naveen Henakankana will have enough ball during this match to go past the try there.
Well, he doesn't need much of it. As soon as he gets a sniff, that's all he needs, a sniff of a gap, and he's through it. But looking at the recent history of the schools league, we had Isipathana who last won in 2012, 2014, and then they were runners-up last year as well. So it's been a bit of a break for them. St. Thomas's, like we said earlier, last one in 2000, but they had some glory years when they won in 89, 90 and 91 in 3 consecutive years as well. But Isipathana in the early 90s were absolutely outstanding. Isipathana winning in 92, 93, 95, 96, 97 and 99. So the only couple of breaks in those 90s were in 94 and 1998. Vasi, that was your year. You remember that year well?
Yes, I think we were runners up on that year. Royal was the league champions.
And what happened there? Royal just a better side?
Actually, we lost by 1 score to Royal, and Royal was champion in that game. Shanaka Pereira was the captain. I think Shani was a good team. They had a good team, and it was a good game actually that year. And it was a good game, I think, actually.
We came close in 2009 to having a Stormian side that went all the way, but again a Royal side foiled them as well. Asala, and it was a really close game at St. Thomas's. I think there was maybe 1 or 2 points in it after Royal had scored 30 odd points in the first half. St. Thomas's came back, scored 30 odd points unanswered in the second half. And this Stormian team has come back from the brink against Royal and against Trinity as well. So you think coping with pressure, they are a little bit ahead of Isipathana?
Yes, they have had 2 pressure games, as you said. But in terms of, I think, contesting or contact, they haven't been properly tested, and I think the Isipathana team will be the right test for them. As you said, the centres haven't been tested that much, but going back to the forwards, I think the Stormians do have the slight advantage there, especially with the weight and also the experience there, because Pandula, Deshapriya, Sachita, Senanaik, all of them have been playing for some time, so certainly they'll use that experience, they'll use that weight around the park, and hopefully come good for the Stormians.
I did like how Isipathana attacked the Royal line-out last week, where the Royal line-out in the rolling maul was going to be a threat and a weapon for them, and that's where Isipathana attacked, and they came. I think they got over in the line-out and they won more ball, and I wonder if they're going to do the same again today, where the St. Thomas's, their real strength is their ball movement, and they're changing the angles and their point of attack from the forwards as far as ball off rucks. Wonder if they're going to really attack that area as well and try and make that into one of their strengths.
Yeah, it might be, because they'll look to play the spoiling game against a team that's really good with the ball in hand, so they'll make sure that they have less time with the ball in hand. And once again, the spotlight will come on referee Ishad Carter. There's going to be a huge amount of pressure, and Vasi, the Isipathana crowd has always been their 16th man. Do you see them coming into the focus here today as well?
The crowd, yes. Actually, Isipathana crowd, I think now after the science game, I think they are really disciplined, and I think at SIA you don't have any crowd issues, but I think Isipathana crowd really loves Kader. Actually, they'll start from the start. They'll go at him. They'll just go at him, and I think Kader takes it really well and handles the game really well.
Yeah, it is really a thankless task, and we saw today in the All Blacks game, we saw quite a bit of pressure on Jaco Piper as well, but the players are very professional in the way they handle that, Asala. And do you think that St. Thomas's also need to make sure that they don't allow themselves to get involved in any niggle to control their aggression? Because we saw against St. Peter's there was a bit of a boiling over of that aggression. They need to hold that back today, don't they?
Yeah, certainly, I think there's a lot of responsibility within the players, and like I was talking to Paul before, even in the science game there were 5 yellow cards for St. Thomas's, so certainly they have to work on their discipline, and if they are showing a lot of sportsmanship in the field, I'm sure the crowd will also communicate, and it will be a good game for everyone to watch.
Paul, it's been your first season here of schools rugby in Sri Lanka, and looking around at these wonderful pictures brought to us by Dialogue TV and ThePapare.com cameramen, that's looking at this varied and colourful crowd that has strolled in here to witness this match. Are you surprised at how big rugby is here and how fabulous it is?
Well, it certainly is fabulous. I was surprised when I first arrived, but I haven't been surprised by anything since. The amount of passion that the crowd shows, maybe sometimes it boils over, and it boiled over at Havelock Park one day. But we just see how much they, and as you can see, Isipathana are coming out now, and the fireworks are coming out, and the crowd starts to bubble away, and you can feel the anticipation in the ground. And I'm loving the atmosphere that they have here, and I'm not surprised at all by anything. And who knows what today's going to bring as well.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be an outstanding game. The Singer Schools Rugby League reaching its climax here at the Longdon Place grounds as the Isipathana green shirts run on. They are the challengers today, because I would go so far as to say that St. Thomas's are probably favourites going into this game. They are hosting this match as well, so it's a home game for them. So Isipathana will be confident after coming to this ground and beating a team last week as well, a team that had a big bunch of forwards. So they will take that to heart, and this crowd will know that they've got the pizzazz to beat one of the teams with just a big forwards pack throwing it at them. But St. Thomas's have a lot more to offer than that, as we look at the lineup for Isipathana. Kushan Indulu, next to him Ekanayaka, who's outstanding in the loose with his defense, and Vagisha Veerasinghe at the number 8 also looking to him, and that big second row unit of Gayanath and Vishwajit should be just outstanding. But let's listen to the roar for when this Thomian side comes out. I haven't seen a Thomian crowd pack a neutral stadium as much as this before. People who've never really wanted to watch a rugby match have been asking and clamoring for tickets, so it really has been a real interest generator from a Thomian point of view, because they haven't won the league in so long. Isipathana are actually probably used to winning this league and don't accept defeat. But for the Thomians, it's just a wonderful surprise to actually be in this position. So it's really a wonderful combination of teams. And how will the schoolboys deal with this pressure, Paul? If you're in the coaching box in the dressing rooms, what would you be saying to Pandula De Silva as he leads out his Thomians right now?
Well, you'd have to say, as a coach, what you want your boys to do is to enjoy it first. Enjoy the occasion, enjoy the rugby, and enjoy playing this game together, because this is why you play rugby. These moments, this is why you go through all the pre-season, all the training, when it's raining, and all the hard work that you do it so that you can play in front of a crowd like this and play at an occasion like this. So now, firstly, they enjoy it. Then maybe when the ball gets kicked off, take a deep breath and then concentrate on what you have to do at that specific moment.
Running out at the back of the Thomian lineup, Jan de Soiza, the 16-year-old, playing in his first game in the first 15 colours. That's him just before the end, next to Danuja Wijayaratna. So they've probably welcomed him into the fold. What an occasion it would be for him. He's probably hoping that he gets on, but not for too long in this final, that's for sure. So it really is going to be an outstanding occasion for the young man as well as he comes onto the park. But Pandula De Silva, the weight of 16 years of expectation for him, and Kushan Indunil wants to come in here and spoil the party. That much is for sure. They would like nothing more than to walk away with this trophy. And going back a couple of years under Devendra Prasad Vazi, we had Isipathana who won 77-3 against Thomian side. Maybe I think it was 2013 or 2011, yeah. So that will be fresh in the memory of this Thomian team as well. They would have been juniors at that time, so they would want to come back strong.
I think definitely they'll want to get the sweet revenge on Isipathana today, but Kushan Indunil, I think last year being runners-up, I think he's really motivated of winning the league this year. They missed out on 7, so they will not want to repeat runners-up year again. So they will fire all their guns today.
As the warden of St. Thomas's, Reverend Mark Bilimoria in his cassock, and he's been a big rugby fan. He's converted to being even a bigger rugby fan. His brother, captain St. Thomas's in 1995, Hans Bilimoria, came close to winning a league title, but just fell short in that year. And the chief guest, of course, Michael Jayasekara, the president of the SLRFU at one point, and chairman of selectors at one point as well. One of the most treasured Thomian rugby players. He was an outstanding player in his school days back in the 70s. We haven't really seen him, but he was supposed to be one of the best, and I'm sure Kushan Indunil, who plays in his same position, will be very happy to be sharing the same space with gentlemen in the caliber of Michael Jayasekara. So Kushan Indunil will be hoping to emulate some of Michael's performances, not only for St. Thomas's but at St. Peter's before that, and also for the Havelocks and the Sri Lankan team which he represented with a lot of distinction. So Pandula De Silva introducing the chief guest, Malinda Deshapriya. He is the vice captain as well. That's Navin Henakan Kanamge. Much will be expected of him as well. The principal of Isipathana, also joining in the introduction party. So we'll be hearing the college anthems in just a few moments and be back with kickoff for this all-important clash. St. Thomas's taking on Isipathana for the league title in 2016. You're on ThePapare.com and Dialogue TV. Conditions today absolutely superb. The sun has come out. There was a bit of rain in the morning, so might have softened the ground up just enough. But the sun has just come out. There's gentle breeze coming in from the bottom to the top of your screen, wherever you are watching. Even if it's on your computer screen or TV screen, it's the same. It's going to be from the bottom to the top. So just a little bit of a gentle crosswind. And you could see at the toss, Pandula De Silva very decisive in how he wanted to play. He won the toss and decided to play from right to left on the field, and that's going to be how the teams line up. So we're ready for the anthems now. That's the formality is done and dusted. It'll be to action now as the two teams will go into their huddles and the crowds will get their voices warmed up. It's a Singer Schools Rugby League final. Isipathana runners up from last year, hoping to go one better, led by Kushan Indunil, the number 12. Number 11, the Mercurial Chamut Fernando. St. Thomas's will be hoping the ball doesn't go to him too often. Watch for the kick and chase. Ranidhu Padmasanka is an extremely fast player. And Randy Silva has a nice long boot on him, so that kick chase might come into the picture as well. The green shirts against the blue and black of the Thomians. The fireworks, if you can hear them in the background, have already started here at the CRNFC ground. It's a wonderful turf. It's a wonderful atmosphere. There's a great giant crowd that has turned up for the game. And in the commentary box, Sasara Dilibera Tennakun from St. Thomas's, Shamli Nawaz from Isipathana, and Paul Toya joining me on ThePapare.com and Dialogue TV. The Thomian side just running out into their huddle, and we'll see their pre-match ritual coming up as well. And there will be a lot of anticipation as this game kicks off. Ashwant Herat there in your picture. Thomian crowd not happy with the positioning of our camera crew. Danuja Vijayaratna in the number 26 jersey. He will be the one that muscles his way into that back line. See if he can take a few players with him in the defense. Thomians choosing actually not to perform their pre-match ritual. They've probably done it in the dressing room before they came out. So that's an interesting one.
Yes, I think after 2008 it hasn't been a consistent ritual for Thomians.
Gayan Vikramaratne to kick off the final, and it's underway. And the ball immediately allowed to bounce. So St. Thomas is not dealing with the first kickoff. And a little bit of a back of the hand offload by Tehan Pereira. Well cleaned up. But early risky moves from the Thomians. Shani Vahangama, that was who cleaned it up. And Bhuvinder Disanayaka sends a high punt down to Chamut Fernando's wing. They can't afford to kick to him too much, and this is why Chamut Fernando stepping again. He's made 40 meters, the winger. Such a dangerous player. And hands over the ball. That's a early marker of how referee Kade is going to blow this ball. That was a harsh one, I thought.
That's right, but what a great run by the winger. He saw the space and he looked outside. He sort of gave a little half shimmy with his, like he looked to feint to pass out wide, and then just spotted a gap and just went straight through it. He was looking for some support, and they were unlucky to get pinged there.
Sudhir Gainath was the man who gave away the penalty. He will be shaking his head, as are many of us in the commentary box here and probably in the crowd as well. And that's a lovely shape to Sumudu Rankotke. Ranidhu Padmasanka in support. The inside ball that has been so deadly for Isipathana, but it goes to ground this time, and St. Thomas's have settled it. Senal De Silva. It's a long ball out to Wayne Mack. So now the Thomians will try to settle this one down a little bit. Here's a skipper, Pandula De Silva, straight through the middle, brought down by this one. It's a good offload, but Kavisha Madhushan had got himself into a good position, and now there's turnover ball for Isipathana. Lovely pass out to Fernando once again. Lovely inside ball. Loop pass. And beautifully taken as well by Vagisha Veerasinghe, who's flown across to defend. That's a nice flat ball to Sudhira Gainath again. Monstered in the tackle. And the referee says not legally, and he might have a word with the tackler there. But what an opening stanza of play, Paul.
Yeah, you can see the accuracy and the contrast in accuracy. St. Thomas's, they started off with it. They didn't even...
And that's a massive blow for the Thomians. Navin Henakan Kanamge is a good defender. Gets a pat on his back as a consolation there from the Isipathana player, but they probably realize it was harsh as well. But referee Kada has been consistent so far. He's called both penalties pretty harshly. But Navin Henakan Kanamge is out, and Chamut Fernando has a license to run riot. Vasi, what will Nilfa Ibrahim do here? Will he change the plan a little bit?
I think Shanaka, I was right that the Isipathana plan is to go wide, and I think it played really well. And with this yellow card, I think Isipathana has to get some points on the board with 14 men on the park at St. Thomas's.
Well, safety being a factor, I think referee Carter didn't really have an option there. It was a tip, took the legs above the hip.
Maul!
And here's a rolling maul. Isipathana with the rolling maul. We haven't seen that too often in Isipathana's rugby history, but it's something they do now. And Vagisha Veerasinghe has it at the back. And he's over. Vagisha Veerasinghe scores the first try for Isipathana off a rolling maul. And who would have thunk that this is the way the game would start?
Well, it's all about accuracy, as I was saying before, and you can see from the kickoff when St Thomas's didn't even catch the ball. That was a sign that they weren't quite there mentally. And here we see they take the ball down. St Thomas's don't contest, and they just prepare for the rolling maul. And it's look how low and flat they are, and they're all driving there as aid, and they're talking to each other, and their communication's fantastic. And they just drive each other. They're small steps. They keep moving the ball. He's over the line and just flops down on the ground. Great try.
Beautifully executed try, Vazi, as a forward, and as a forwards coach, you must be very happy about that.
I think everybody worked as one unity in that, as we saw in the video, everybody's legs, as Paul said, was one step. It was a rhythm going. I think they really worked really hard on that.
So a double blow for the Thomians. Henakan Kanamge, their top try scorer, out, and the fastest man on the park probably. Out for 10 minutes. Asala, this is an early blow, but these ones are the easiest to recover from, aren't they?
Yes, I think Chanaka, the Thomians have been going through this right throughout the season. They have been through early blows, especially against Royal and Trinity, and they have come back hard. So it's all about composure here, and I think Pandula De Silva will have a word with his players, and the senior especially will have to think twice, make up for Navin Kankanange as well, and keep going from here.
So Gayan Vikramratne right on target. We talked about Isipathana's woes with the boot, that they converted only half the 40-odd tries they scored, but last week he converted all 4 of them. Gayan Vikramratne, and he's on target with his first attempt here today as well. So Isipathana with the maximum possible points from that Navin Henakan Kanamge offense, and Ashwanta Herath will now kick off an attempt to get into the Isipathana territory. Adisha Veeratunga, Randy Silva just throws the dummy, buys himself some space and gets it out into decent touch. So St Thomas's will need to be accurate with their first line-out ball.
Yeah, that's right. And it was nice, a little bit of accuracy there when they cleared the ball out of their own 22. St Thomas's only put one chaser up there, which is interesting. You'd think they'd make sure that their reaction after having a try scored against them is that everyone would be charging up. They put one chaser in, he just stepped inside and cleared and got them well out of their 22.
So first throw for Harit Seranayaka, who keeps the ball rather high, and Adisha Veeratunga has done well to prevent it coming out quickly. But the maul doesn't form to any real consequence, and that's a nice offer to Danuja Vijayaratna from Christian Delisle. Chuti changes his mind. Tehan Pereira with a nice ball out, and Wayne Mack gives it to his second row buddy. Seranayaka comes back infield nicely. This is the sort of rugby that St Thomas's will be happy playing.
Release!
Tehan Pereira goes to ground. Senal De Silva. Here's Ashwanta Herath coming in on the angle. Manages to break the tackle of Veerasinghe.
Tackle! Stay back, Green!
De Silva again to Bhuminda Disanayake. Throws the dummy, but he's smashed in between 2 Isipathana players. And the turnover is good from Vagisha Veerasinghe once again. Did beautifully. And now the chase is on. Subudhu Rankotge. Chamot Fernando. Lovely ball out to him. There won't be any stopping him. Chamot Fernando all the way. Absolutely no chance of stopping Chamot Fernando, especially not without Henakan Kanamge on the pitch. And just as that we were talking about the double blow, exploiting the gap, St Thomas is turning the ball over from the Bhuminda Disanayaka carry, and what a wonderful finish from Chamot Fernando. How deadly is this boy, Paul?
Yeah, he's got pace to burn, but it was all made by a centre inside him, Rankotge. He went through the gap and drew both of them and made sure that the winger had to come in and get him. Well, it wasn't the winger, it was the last defender, and just put a little Sonny Bill Williams pass and popped him away. He still had 50 metres to run. It showed a clean pair of heels, and I wonder if this is going to wake up St Thomas's, whether they're going to give more than a 14-point start to Isipathana.
Well, Mayan Jayawardena conspicuously missing there in cover defense. He had probably run up to make himself available for the offload, but Bhupendra Disanayake with a very strange decision there to take the ball into contact, Asala.
Yes, you would have expected the Thormians to keep it a bit closer with the forwards, especially with one man down. And Bhupendra Disanayake went into contact without any support, got isolated, and the Isipathana threes were up to the task and got the turnover, sped the ball out wide, and what a try by the wing three. So it's going according to plan for Isipathana, but the Thormians obviously confused and are confused at the early blow.
Vazi, you said send it wide early. You must be very happy.
Actually, Shanaka, I said about the turnovers by the Isipathana third row. I think that number 8 turnover got this try for Isipathana, and this is a running team, so they will run from their 22 if they have a turnover. For St. Thomas's, I felt like they are taking it a little bit easy and throwing the ball away, position away.
Yes, so it's decision making, execution, accuracy. That's the Isipathana bench. They know that this game is far from over, even though they're 14 points in the clear. So first scrum of the game, this is where things might get interesting. The much heavier Thormian pack will want to exert some dominance, slow the game down here, Paul. What does Pandula De Silva do now?
I'd imagine the St. Thomas's will want to start building some pressure, so that means holding on to the ball. They need to treat the ball with a bit more respect. They seem to be going into contact and believing that they're going to hold the ball and not actually do the hard work to hold on to it. We know that as soon as Isipathana turn the ball over, they're very dangerous at counter-attack. They showed it just there. They spun it wide and they scored straight away.
Well, that's where the danger is going to be. He's just walking straight over that for Satya Jayatilaka to peel off the back. Isipathana completely destroyed by that scrum. A terrible decision once again. They're going wide with a man down, and Mayan Jayawardena. Now again, Chamod Fernando to Kishan Indunil. Important tackle made on him by Danuja Vijayaratna. That could have been a try saver. And Mapitigama goes in, access halfback, and Randy Silva gives it to Ekanayaka. Vishwajit there, throwing it through the hands, not wanting to go into contact. Lovely chase coming in there from Adisha Veeratunga, but just done enough. The ball did enough to beat everyone into touch. So again, danger times. Dinesh Kumar very animated there on the bench. He was one of those finishers that finished just like Chamod Fernando. Real pace he had when he played in 2002, but that was a long time ago. And Adisha Veeratunga just not able to get under that ball before Bhupendra Disanayake came across. So strange decisions from St. Thomas's ball to run it wide with their main attack weapon on the bench.
Yeah, that's right. It was a strange decision, especially just to do that big loopy pass that missed out 2 players and went to no one.
Serenayaka knocks it back, and
Scrum or line out? Scrum.
Pandula De Silva chooses not to touch it. I think he noticed that it had come off the hand of Adisha Veeratunga. So they're doing it again, Paul. They're contesting the line-out ball at number 2, and it worked for them last week, so they're sticking with it.
That's right. And why would you change it if the line-out's working so well? They probably would have worked on, tweaked a few little things, but made sure that they're going to use variety.
Navin Henakankanamge talking to the junior coach Preeti Kumara, conveying some instructions from Coach Laga, no doubt. Getting ready to come back into the game. He'll be livid with himself for coming off. A very disciplined player, not the kind to get yellow cards like that, but the aggression, once again, as we were talking about before kickoff, just boiling over a little bit. So Thomas is now with his own ball, destroyed Isipathana on the last scrum.
Steady.
Notice the left hand of Sajid Jayatilaka there. He's playing with a fracture. And once again, the defensive scrum does better. And but the referee has pinged Kavisha Madhushan for boring in at the side, and it looked very much like it because the scrum collapsed in a heap.
Okay. No straight
Correct
pushing.
call there, Paul.
Oh, look, you could probably ask one of those 2 props that question, and I'm sure they'll both come up with a different answer, and that's a great thing about props. Whenever they come up out of a collapsed scrum, they always have the same look of I'm innocent ref, and they did it again there. But now we can see Henan Kankanange come back onto the field, so St Thomas's have returned to their full complement of 15.
Well, he spent 10 minutes out, and they've shipped 14 points through his wing, so he'll know that he's got to score a couple of tries to get back in deficit. And Serenayaka takes it well at the back. Delisle holding it up. He's got to protect that ball. And Mapikama manages to get in the middle there somehow. A little hooker dragging it out, and that's good work. That's excellent defense from Isipathana. It's a moral victory even though they've conceded the penalty, and Delisle takes it quickly, goes himself. Needs to get some help because it's a good tackle from Isipathana, and now they've turned it over once again. Adisha Veeratunga taking them on out wide. Lovely run. Outstanding run once again from Rankodge, was it? But Isipathana get chased back, and Chamod Fernando that time is followed by Hena Kankanam and put it to touch. It was Harit Bandara or Gayan Vikramaratne with a beautiful run. So no fear of running it out even from their in goal area.
Yeah, that's right. He had to dodge past the posts actually to get around there, and then he threw a little dummy pass inside, and it was an excellent little dummy pass, and it got him a half little gap, but you saw the outstretched arms and of the defender there. He really needs to get his shoulder into it.
This is the mark.
Minister hurrying Fernando in the crowd. Wayne Mack juggles it, and they manage to retain it.
No advantage. Come down.
Referee calls a knock forward. Strange one, because I thought he managed to regather the ball. But terrible defense on that occasion. Nasala just flailing at the passing player.
That was Ashwant Herat, the centre, just going for a jersey tackle on Gayan Vikramaratne.
You have to straight pushing, okay?
And there we saw a little slight knock on by the number one, the prop. Put his hands up above his head, and he's probably not used to having his hands up there.
Bind!
Got it in for prop 70, Paul.
Steady.
I had a coach that said the most important player on the paddock was the tight head prop, and the second most important player was the reserve tight head prop.
And this is an interesting one. Number 3 is being pinged. But St Thomas's clearly with the dominant scrum. Why would they want to give away a penalty there? You can see Deshapriya shifting his hips this way, and looks like Terence Henry's grabbing. He's working well for them. It's a good tactic against a scrum that's so much heavier than yours, isn't it, Wasi?
Yes, Shanaka, but I'm a little bit worried about the scrum with Isipathana having two pressure scrums, and I think the hooker is not hooking it really into the locks. So it's
Disanayaka with a huge thump downfield. Vikramaratne has to chase back, and now in the open field, Isipathana are dangerous. Chooses to give it to Ranindhu Padmasankar. Hena Kankanamge makes a tackle, and now Kushan Indunil puts it into the space. Mayan Jayawardene is back though. Chooses to take on Sumudu Rankodge. He had support that time though, Jayawardene, a bit of a risk. Pandula De Silva. They do well to keep him up.
Release! Knock back!
And we can hear referee Carter saying release, and they obey him that time.
No!
So Thomas is building a few phases here. Malinda Deshapriya, the deputy skipper. Tight head away the last. And there's too many bodies on the ground, so the referee blows it up for a scrum. Better to see a scrum than a penalty at those breakdowns, usually. But again, St Thomas is living dangerously.
Well, look at the numbers in the defence for Isipathana there in this replay. That they're all there. They're just waiting there. They're like a reception party. They're just waiting for the attackers to come. And so what St Thomas's need to do is they need to have faster ball. The ball needs to come out of the out of the breakdown quicker so that the defence isn't set like that. We saw the numbers there, and Isipathana was just there standing waiting. You need them to be retreating because your man's getting over the gain line all the time. So that's what they'll be trying to do, build phases and pressure to make the defence.
Binding. Baget bind kara. Asayan.
Taking a bit of time over this scrum, so St. Thomas's will need to get on the scoreboard before half time.
Bind. Sit.
Still a way to play though.
Steady.
Senal De Silva to feed this big scrum. And once again a scrum reset. So you can see that Isipathana know that this is their weakness and they've come armed with a few little tactics. Look at them walking sideways. But that was a good shove against a much bigger pack, Vazi.
Yeah, I think Nilufer's and Henry's target is to break St. Thomas and their players, lineouts and scrums. I think even the first scrum was not really steady for St. Thomas's. It was a hard one.
Knock back.
Satya Jayatilaka fumbles at the back. Like I said, he's playing with that fracture, and Vagisha Veerasinghe quick to pounce on it. Randy Silva gets monstered by Delisle in the tackle, but it's still available, and now they've got numbers. They're the danger men. Sumudu Rankodge takes a couple to bring him down. Outstanding run once again from the outside centre. Kushan Indranil standing at first receiver. Takes two to bring him down. Hands on the ground, and the referee's got his arm up for a penalty. So once again, he's being consistent. And that's the only thing that you can hope for. Malinda Deshapriya is the man who's guilty of it, the number 3, walking dejectedly back. And this will be points on offer for Gayan Wickramaratne, who will gleefully take an opportunity for 3.
Here you can just see the skipper there taking them over the advantage line, and that's really where they've been winning the game here today. They just keep getting over the advantage line every time they have the ball, and that's what St. Thomas's aren't doing, and that's what Isipathana are doing.
Deshapriya once again will...
I think Shanaka, in that way, one thing, it was a harsh call, but the tacklers didn't roll away, so I think the referee did not see it properly.
Well, the penalty was right, but for the wrong offence. Wickramaratne will have a chance to put this Isipathana team, who are underdogs coming into this match, into a surprise 17-0 lead if this goes over. There's a hush around the CRNFC ground, but that's largely because the Thomian supporters probably can't believe what they're seeing. Wickramaratne's kick is good. If the crowd didn't already tell you, the flags of the touch judge will. And 17 points to 0 is the lead for Isipathana. They're a complete team.
You can pick the ball. You can't.
They've realized their mistakes from last year, where they came into a final and found themselves wanting. And they've worked really hard to make sure that they don't repeat those same mistakes. For St. Thomas's, they've got to respond to the pressure.
That's right, Shanaka. You know, that's the question. That's the question the coach will be asking the players. How are you going to respond? Now, what's their response from this onslaught? 17 points. They've got to come up with something.
Kushani Dunil once again
tackle.
Was confident when we spoke to him before the match. Seemed really relaxed as well. Turnover ball. Now it's available for Wayne Mack. Flying up out of the defensive line was Ekanayaka. Good enough to send Mack back in field. And again, the attack is quite static for St. Thomas's. Giving it to Hena Kankanamge. He needs to make up for his lapse. And they drag him into touch. Chamod Fernando using the touchline well. And don't forget that the photographs and videos published on the ThePapare.com Facebook page are available for purchase at reasonable rates. For more info, email info@thepapare.com or call our hotline on 0777 822 777. Defensive line out for Isipathana inside their own 22. St. Thomas's haven't chosen to contest as yet. Good fake at the front of the line out, and Gainath goes up at the back.
Mall. Use it.
And Randy Silva, under enormous pressure, can only put this down the middle of the field. And Mayon Jayawardena looks to Navin Henakankanamge to run into the open field. Beautiful pass out the back of his hand, and Danuja Wijayaratne now with a little bit of space. The big winger leaves the ball behind. There's no knock on.
No ruck. Step back.
And there's a big blind side, but Senal De Silva chose to go with the big runners on the inside. Buminda Disanayaka standing and passing. He's been a real weak link today, and probably the weakest link in the season, but the referee coming back very correctly for a block tackle, Paul. That was a no-arms tackle where he just put his shoulder in, and I'm surprised.
Now it's called the shoulder charge, actually.
I'm surprised, actually. We watch it here. That was just after that play. But again, if you are being consistent, Vazi, you'd have to think perhaps yellow for that dangerous play as well.
Yes, shoulder charge, I think. But the player, I think he went over it, so I think referee didn't think it was a dangerous play. But if a shoulder charge is very dangerous, if the player is down, I think it's a yellow card offence.
Well, finally on attack, Asala, you must be breathing a sigh of relief. They need to come away with points here.
Yes, the Thomins have to play this territory game, get into the Isipathana half, and I'm sure they'll use the forwards now, get in the ball to either Senanaik or Mac, bring the ball down, drive carefully towards the line.
Ball!
Senanaika winning it nicely in the middle. He's been excellent in the line out, probably the best that I've seen this season. As an exponent of that, a pod breaks away from the back. It's the same maul, so there's no problem there.
Entry.
Danuja Wijayaratne goes to ground, and Senal De Silva now goes in after it. Ashwanta Herat takes it, is held, but once again, no real support for Herat, who goes into that contact.
Keep the ball here.
Real
Captain.
Dangerous stuff
Take the
after
team
having
here.
conceded 2 turnover tries. St. Thomas's will want to not isolate their ball carriers, Paul. So not learning from their mistakes. Watch it here. Ashwanta Herat comes in, but gets totally isolated.
Yeah, that's
Number
right.
five. Number
The
five.
forwards were all locked in that little arm
Standing.
wrestle there earlier on, and there's another yellow card there for the second row, pulling down the maul, it looked like. And that was the breakaway maul, and I actually thought it was the other second row that did that, but it was plain to see. He sort of got in around, and then he just sort of dropped his legs away, and now St. Thomas has got a real chance against 14 men.
So Gainath is the man who goes to the bench. Already 2 yellow cards in this match. Key players as well. Gainath is a big part of that defensive unit. And once again, terrible ball retention from St. Thomas's. Really not protecting the pill. And I was writing about this in my blog early on, and my only prediction was that he who protects the ball will win this one. And so far, that's Isipathana.
That's right. Well, Isipathana are doing a couple of things more consistently than St. Thomas's. One, they're getting over the advantage line. 2, they're protecting the ball. But their real go-to thing is as soon as they get turnover ball, they counter-attack really quickly. Now we're going to see them under defence, see their defence go to work here.
St. Thomas is doing what has worked for them so far. They're going on the blind side. Ahangama. Sajida Jatilaka reaches over and it's a try. Good spin from the number 8, playing with the fractured hand. It's causing him a few problems with picking up the ball at the back of the scrum, but it's causing him absolutely no problem scoring tries. And St. Thomas is finally on the board. That'll settle them down. And the first 5-pointer for the Thomians. Watch it here. They go straight through Tehan Pereira. He's been carrying the ball well all season. Shani Vahangama screaming for it on the blind side. Senal De Silva gives it to Hangama, who passes it on to Sachit Jati, like a great awareness of where the line was, Paul.
That's right, it was great awareness, but they do that a lot, St. Thomas's. They'll hit down from a set piece or from a point of play, and then they'll go cut back to the blind side. And I've noticed that during the season that teams don't really, they aren't aware that that's going to happen, and they get caught out there. But Isipathana will have to make sure that they're careful with their defence, that they don't become too compressed, worrying about those big guys coming in close to the ruck, because then 2 passes out, you see there's a little bit of space, and then another big guy can go over, and as soon as you're over the advantage line, then your attack can flood through.
The 2-pointer will make a huge difference here today because a 10-point gap is much more easy on the eyes than a 12-point gap. Ashwanta Herath has been consistent and manages to curl this one back as well. So it's 17 points to 7. And just what the doctor ordered, Asala.
It's certainly, like we said, they kept the ball with the forwards, and that's what they have to do because that's their strength. We went into this game saying the Thormians are good with their forwards, so why not grind it closer and soften the Patana defense up and then move it out to the wing threes, because they are giving it out too early, isolating the threes quite often. But I think this is the way forward for the Thormians.
So it goes back to your chat with Laga a little earlier, Paul, where he said that everyone wants to carry the ball and the kickoff is not a good one. So Isipathana will need to respond well, Vasi. They can't afford to get pressurized now that St. Thomas's have scored.
I think Isipathana took this 17-point lead and they just relaxed a little bit, I feel, and even the score was try scored by St. Thomas's was a pre-planned move, I think, and the mismatch was really the weight difference of the players showed, and he just passed through, and he had extra player helping him also, so that was an easy try for St. Thomas's, and the kick was very good. I think Isipathana has to get more points and trying to maintain a 15-point lead at least to seal this game, otherwise it's going to be really hard for them.
Thormian bench looking a little bit stressed there, but if you're fans of other schools and are watching this broadcast, nevertheless, Trinity College and St. Peter's are tied at 8-all at Pallakale after 20 minutes. And Science and Royal also tied 10-all at Havelock Park.
Steady, Green.
So big scrum for the Thormians. You can see Jayatilaka waiting for it at the back. Picks it up and looked like an early break from
Number 7 rebound.
Devin Gunaratna on the open side. May have got away with a few last week, but he's been watching him.
I really liked how Isipathana forward pack is so low and tight in their scrums, and you can see the contrast there in those pictures where St. Thomas has looked a little bit higher and a little bit looser, so they need to work on their binds, make sure that they're tight, and also work as a unit. It looks like Isipathana are really working as 8, aren't they, when they come into their scrum?
So we've got another line out. Sports Minister Honorable Dalsari Jayasekara. So two very influential ministers watching this game. Good to see some rugby fans in Parliament as well.
Stopped.
Referee hasn't given the okay for Pandura De Silva to go ahead there. So quite a few stoppages in this game, which will suit St. Thomas's down to a T.
Okay, ready.
Isipathana will want to play it faster, play it quicker.
Okay, enough.
Yeah, they need to stay with their accuracy as well. You saw in the first half of, for the first 20 minutes, they were very accurate and there were no mistakes. And just now, a few mistakes are creeping in. That's another mistake. You know, you've got to take care of the man up the front.
Wayne Mack at the front of the line out. Pandura De Silva carries it for a good few meters. Deshapriya now rumbles it forward. This is where St. Thomas's are dangerous. Going back to the blind side.
Tackle, release! Tackle! Roll away!
Avisha Madhushan. Look very much like Vishwajit has picked up a bad injury here. Hope he's okay. Ashwanta Herath.
Rock ball!
Coming out, coming back on the angle. Senanayaka chooses to set it up once again. Senal De Silva goes on the blind side. Shani Vahangama. Pandula De Silva, lovely pass out to Wayne Mack. And just getting a foot in touch. That's excellent defense. Really good defense there by the smaller man, Devin Gunaratna, who came across. But again, the try there for the taking. But let's see what's up with Vishwajit, who looked like he picked up a pretty bad injury. Great defense by Devin Gunaratna there.
Yeah, that's right. That was there was no way anyone was going through that that little hole there, but it looked like there was space out on the right-hand side there for St Thomas's, where they sucked in it and made Isipathana defence compress, and they looked like they might, if they'd spun the ball to the right, they looked like they might have been over.
I think one phrase that Coach Laga uses often with whatever team that he coaches here in Sri Lanka is the fact that he always says that players don't play what's in front of them. And Senal De Silva went back to the pattern, which was fine. But if he had just looked up, he would have seen a yawning gap on the other side if he had broken the pattern.
That's right, but responsibility also falls onto the backs. So if you're out in the open and if you get the ball, you're going to score a try, it's your responsibility to tell the man inside you, and then they've got to get the ball, that message across as well.
Another fake at the front, but Adisha Viratunga jumps for the second time. Good explosiveness from the young flanker. And Randy Silva manages to buy his team about 12 meters or 15 meters. And St Thomas's will once again have the line out from which to attack. So they've settled down. They've been slow starters all season, Asala, so it takes a bit of a wake-up call for them to get back into games.
Yes, hopefully they've woken up now because they can't afford to give more points to Isipathana, and since they're one-man advantage, and also with the Isipathana second row being taken out with a shoulder injury, they're certainly in the driving seat now during this phase.
Keep the 1 meter.
So Pandula De Silva with the throw into the line out.
Well taken there in the end. Miss move, Sarit Nanayakkara coming in. And Senal De Silva will go blindside. Pandula De Silva.
Empty.
Quite a few players taken to bring him down. And Senal will go back to the open side. Shani Vahangama has been one of the better ball runners. The blindside flanker.
Release.
Good counter ruck by Ekanayaka there. But the referee says that the line was offside, so CJ or Christian Delisle will take it quickly. Will the referee call for the 10 meters? No, he doesn't. And they will play the knock-on, so St Thomas has have to go back, and Mayan Jayawardena with a little bit of a goose step runs himself into a bit of trouble, but Senanayaka gets back to rescue him. That was good work from the second row, and St Thomas has managed to hold on to the ball. Bhuminda Disanayaka goes through the middle. Disanayaka needs support. Can he get round? It was a good tackle, beautifully timed by Vagisha Veerasinghe. Nice cutback on the angle. And Senal De Silva, now they have it again through Malinda Deshapriya. Deshapriya with the long ball out to Tehan Pereira. Pereira needs support. No release there from Devin Gunaratne. And the referee very correctly calling that no release. Deshapriya taking it quickly. Deshapriya hoping to go over the line unchallenged, but now it's quick ball. Pandula De Silva screaming for it. Senal again trying to wriggle his way in through the corner. Now they need a halfback.
Number 6.
Adisha Veeratunga cleverly taking his time to get out of there. And now the Isipathana defense being tested, and the penalty is coming. So this is the sort of pressure that Royal were exerting last week. But St Thomas has just seemed to have a little bit too much beyond the number 10 than Royal did last week.
That's right, they've got a little bit more variety in their attack, but and they're really asking real questions of the Isipathana defence. But now I'd want, if I was the coach of Isipathana, I'd want some of my leaders to stand up and say, let's start concentrating on what we're doing, boys. It looks like they've mentally switched off a little bit. They just need to raise their game a touch.
And that's Tanuja Vijayaratne scoring the second try for the Tolmians. And that was easy as you like. And with Gayanath out and with Viswajit injured on the sideline, that's a real big blow for the defensive unit of Isipathana. We'll watch the replay here.
I find this completely unforgivable. They're 5 metres from your own line, and the guy takes a tap kick, and no one comes up to meet him to knock him over before he gets to the try line. You know, and you're in a final, and you're leading, and your lead's getting cut down, and you've got a man down. I don't know if you need any more motivation than that to get up off the line and make a tackle.
Tanuja Vijayaratne started the season in the number 8 position until Satya Jajatilaka came back from playing cricket. Now he finds himself on the wing. And Wazi, with the 2 second rowers injured, that's a big problem for Isipathana.
That last few plays, I think Isipathana only had 6 forwards in the field, and it showed. And when Naveen was yellow carded, Isipathana got 2 scores, and I think St. Thomas is using the same this thing, and they are getting points when the play is short. I think it's smart rugby, and I think Isipathana has to come up and defend.
Ashwanta Herat for another 2-pointer. And this time it's an easier kick. And he misses it. So could that count in the final equation? The Thomian crowd getting behind their team. They were very stressed out in the early moments. Here it is. Danuja Wijayaratna. Really not the hardest cry he scored in his life.
I think the mistake the Isipathana defense made was the heavier forwards were out wide. They didn't have it in front of the person who was taking the tap. So they didn't have the forwards right in front of him. You see the number 3 for Isipathana a bit wider.
Pandula De Silva deals with that restart kick well enough.
Stay back, number 2.
Moving the Disanayaka, it's a charge down. This is where they're dangerous. Isipathana, they've woken up and they're back in the game. Harit Bandara, Randy Silva, Kavisha Madushan. They want quick ball. They're screaming for it out wide. Sumudu Rankutke. And the penalty is coming. Straight through and off your feet, says the referee. And Kushan Indunil goes on the blind side. Indunil in the corner. Kushan Indunil. How good is this bloke? This for me is Sri Lanka's long-term number 12 once Gayan Veeraratna hangs up his boots. He is an absolutely outstanding player and is leading from the front.
That's right, you saw the penalty went because the St. Thomases were coming in from the side, and then they took a quick tap, and he just sort of half showed the ball, saw the mismatch against the number 8 and found the gap and half went through and he got over, but it's his leadership that I think is important for this team. Like he wound them up, they came back, that try was scored against them, and they came back and they said, right, let's make a difference. And you see that when someone makes a charge down. Charge down's all about attitude. Right? When the person goes back to make a kick, there's very small chance that you're going to charge the ball down. But if you give everything, maybe once out of 10 times you might be able to get a charge down. There is a statistic that says that any team that has a charge down doesn't lose a game.
Well, there's no try. There's no try. We didn't hear that exchange between the referee and the Isipathana skipper. The penalty is coming, but they're not giving the try. So we'll find out hopefully at halftime what that was about. And once again, it looks like we're being ruled by the bench, Paul. There was a bit of a controversy at the second leg of the Bradby as well, even though it wasn't a league game, where if the tee has come in, the kicking tee has come in, you can't choose to take a tap and play the ball. So I think that's a little silly. I think the players on the park should be able to decide what they want to do. And by sending the tee on, Isipathana may have just deprived themselves of at least 2 points.
Well, that's right. It looks like they have if he does get this kick over. But I always played it that the referee asks the captain, and the captain says, I'll either take a shot, but the coaching staff, they'll have to take that on the chin because they are the ones that send out the tee. He lines us up and hoping to take 3 points.
Well, the kick is good. That much is okay. So they've conceded only 2 or 4 points rather than the 5 points that they would have otherwise conceded with that decision. So Kushan Indunil may look over to his bench and say, Coach, I'll take it from here, mate.
That's right. This is here we see that coming in from the side. You've got to come in from the last feet, and here's the...
And you can't play the halfback like that either, can you?
Prop just runs in from the... just dives over the top. Greg Louganis, 1984 Olympic diver.
88 was it that he hit his head on the diving board? Paul? Yeah. So 20 points to 12. Isipathana with that lead advancing by 3 points just before half-time. A key moment of the game. 20 points to 12. It's just 8 points in it in this Singer Schools Rugby League finale. It has lived up to every bit of expectation that we had before the game. St. Thomas's fighting their way back into the match after they trailed 14 points to 10. A few injuries and a few key yellow cards have led to tries as well. We'll just take a look back at the highlights of the first half while the teams huddle up, and Terence Henry and Nilfa Ibrahim tell their players how to hold on to this 8-point lead. Vazi, if you were offered 20-12 at half-time, would you have taken it?
Yes, Shanak, I think this is a very healthy lead for a game like this. But I think what you said was correct. I think Kushan Indunil was very confident, Isipathana Skippy, and I think he should rule this game in favor of him without the bench making any decisions on them.
Coach Laga has said that the week's preparation was quite relaxed, Paul, but they need to get out of that relaxed mode now and become a little intense, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. They didn't start very well. They started like they were just a little bit, as you said, they were almost asleep. And Coach Laga is quite laconic as well, and he just takes his time with it. And here we see the beginning of the game, and you can see accuracy from Isipathana. They take that line out, and they're 5 metres from the try line here, and they drive down low. You can see they're all low and they're working together, and the communication as well as there, and just small steps, one little step at a time, and just gets their man over the try line. That's a great try there. Beautiful technique, and probably unexpected from Isipathana as well. St. Thomas's probably hadn't prepared to defend a rolling maul against this team, and Vikramaratna bisecting the gap between the posts with that conversion as well. So that was the early try that set them back, and this is the one that Sundur Ankalke set up for. That's a lovely push off of Ashwant Herat, and Mayon Jayawardhan is grasping at the coattails of Chamot Fernando, who just accelerated away from him in the absence of Henakan Kanamge, who had gone to the bin by this time. Yeah, that's right, but that's a sign of a team that's really taking advantage of what's in front of them, and what was in front of them was 14 players, and so they kept on spinning it wide, but at that point they turned the ball over, and here they take 3 points. It was the inaccuracy of St. Thomas's. There we saw inaccuracy at the breakdown where he got penalised, but here they had that move where they went down one way and then they came back down the blind side, and they had too many numbers and too much size to get over the try line. Here's the other one. Both tries pretty similar from both the Thomian number 8s. Manuja Wijayaratna there, just picking and barging his way over. Mapitigama not having enough strength to keep him out of it, but then conceding the 3 points or the try just before half-time. It was a try for all of about 30 seconds before the referee called it back for the kicking tee coming onto the park. So you've seen it all. Don't forget, on ThePapare.com, Sri Lanka's Premier Club Football Championship kicks off on the 24th of June with Saunders Sports Club taking on Renown Sports Club in the opener at the racecourse. Catch the matches live on ThePapare.com. Just to remind you that Trinity College have gone into a 15-13 lead over St. Peter's at halftime, and Science College are trailing Royal by 10 points to 17 at the Havelock Sports Club grounds. Both those matches live on ThePapare.com. We are on Dialogue TV and ThePapare.com. We'll be joining you with second half action of this outstanding game of rugby in just a moment.
Live international rugby Saturday on Setanta Sports. For the second week running, the All Blacks take on Wales.
And this time it's Dane Coles bursting through the middle.
Then two old foes go head to head when the Wallabies face England.
Cross to Joe Tamani!
And later, Ireland try to contain the fast-running Springboks.
And Trio bursting through! Jesse Trio! Wow!
Live international rugby Saturday on Setanta.
To To activate this channel, use the Dialog Self-Care app or type on space your Dialog television account number, space channel number and SMS to 679 from your Dialog mobile or 0770 679 679 from any other mobile network.
සදන සිංහල අත විශිෂ්ට විශ්වාසය.
Very good afternoon and welcome back to live pictures here at the Longdon Place grounds. The CRNFC hosting the finale of the schools rugby season. The Singer Schools Rugby All-Island Championship up for decision today. And St. Thomas's are trailing Isipathana by 8 points at half-time. And that's not where they wanted to be. It is exactly where Isipathana would like to be, to go one better than the runner-up position that they won last year in the 2015 competition. So the coaches have left the huddles. Now they've left it to the captains, and Sarit Nanayakara struggles to get on his jersey, but Isipathana tried disallowed a few moments ago just before half time because the kicking tee came on. A bit of a pedantic decision there, I thought, Paul. It might have deprived Isipathana of 4 points. At the moment it only deprived them of a sure 2 points perhaps. But maybe that decision will come back to haunt them at the end of the game. Who knows? Nothing is sure at the moment because the game has been on an absolute knife edge.
That's right, and it's all been about accuracy for me. Isipathana came out and they were very accurate to start with, and their enthusiasm and they were just more alert than St. Thomas's. St. Thomas's managed to work their way back into the game, and I think that was all about their forwards deciding that we're going to take control of the game. Also, Isipathana had a player off, and so they only had 14 players and they had a yellow card. But now the coaches, I was just wondering what the coaches would have said at half time, whether the coach for Isipathana would have said, let's work back on our accuracy, let's concentrate, let's take a deep breath and make sure we do what is in front of us perfectly and try and execute our skills. And St. Thomas's, I'd say Lager would have said, let's have some emotion, let's bring some emotion into the game and get to our ball and hold on to it.
Ashwanta Herath hasn't had a great half defensively. And Randy Silva thumps that one back. Looking for Navin Henakankanamge, hasn't had many opportunities. Now he puts his foot down, but good tackle on him by Sumudu Rankotge. Ball seemed to be kicked out of his hands, but the referee has called for the knock forward. And again,
Stay
excellent
back, stay
defense from Rankotke. And Vazi, this is the
Play on.
play keeps going. So the referee playing the advantage. Randy Silva once again going back to the tactics they used last week. And the knock forward from Danuja Vijayaratna. Don't know why the referees kept playing, because it looked very much like a knock on, but he says it went backwards.
Rug ball. Stay back, stay back.
Vijayaratna really lucky to get away with that one. Senal De Silva asks Wayne Mack to move out of the way. Forward pass there, you could see it to our cameras itself. So once again, the accuracy from the Thomians not there at all. But how about that defense from Rankotge, Vasi? It's not just his attacking game, his all-round game is so good.
Dangerous. Go straight.
I think they can count themselves very unlucky that they didn't get that knock on in the 22, but they've got the knock forward, or they've got the scrum just about 6 or 7 meters behind that point. Watch for Vagisha Veerasinghe off the back here.
Set.
They'll want quick channel one ball.
Collapse. Scrum again. Who's going out?
Is they're getting under St. Thomas's because they're a very short front row. They're strong, but they're short. So they're getting under the Stormian front row, and they're really making life quite uncomfortable for them.
Wait for my call. Great!
The Thomians just need to take a step back.
Bind!
Body angle.
Steady! Set! Steady,
little,
steady, steady, steady.
More stable. And now the referee's called it. He's called a free kick.
A free kick.
It's the side putting in the ball who's got the responsibility.
Release!
Good work from Satila Jayatilaka. Again, Isipathana slowing the ball down legally. Pandula gets the big fend out. Vagisha Veerasinghe so strong, so brave. Isipathana defensive line coming up in a wave. And again, Veerasinghe there.
Tackle! Release!
Tackling very close to the again. Making sure St. Thomas's don't get any headway. And now Saritnane Akkara, now Navin Hena Kankanamge. Sudu Rankotge does an excellent job once again getting there. Chamod Fernando comes round the ruck. Referee says play on. And Vikramaratna leaves the ball behind. And that looks like it might be a yellow card coming for a pull down.
Charging.
It's a shoulder charge. And everything's happening here. My goodness, this game has really lived up to its billing. Watch Gan Vikramaratna on the chase. Misses the ball. And it was Adi Shahadin Patrana, it looked that just dragged down the chasing Isipathana player. So you might see a yellow card here.
Too late charging after the kick. Okay. Talk to your boys.
Well, here you see Isipathana, they're going to have a shot at goal and just try and click over some more points. And I know there was a great coach in New Zealand, Earl Curtin, who said that whoever scores first in the second half generally goes on to do well in the match. But you saw the ball, and we're talking about accuracy and skill execution. We needed to see someone from St. Thomas's there. The ball was just left there on the doorstep, like an orphan on a doorstep, and no one was there to pick the ball up. And so that man from Isipathana that came round the ruck there, he did the right thing. You just need to make sure that your players all know what their roles are. If the last man going in, if he can't see someone coming in after them or doesn't get a call, he just makes sure he leaves his foot over the ball so the ball remains in the ruck.
Yes, that was really inexcusable from St. Thomas's not protecting the ball there. Asala, what would have been said at half time? Clearly they haven't listened to it.
Yes, there has to be more discipline at the breakdown, as Paul mentioned, because it's the conversion, the penalty kick is good. So 3 more points added to the Isipathana total, 23 points to 12.
So a 9-point lead now for Isipathana, and they'll be happy with that. They're led by 10 at 17 points to 7. And they've slowly clawed their way back after that lead came down to 5 points. They've now extended it to Chamod Fernando would probably have beaten everyone to the ball. Adun Pathirana making a professional foul almost. Lucky, I think, to get away with just a penalty there.
Not forward. Mark here.
Sorry, it's a 11-point lead. My mathematics deserting me.
Come down. Front row. Crouch.
Some would say it was never with you, but
early underwear.
there was a little knock on there, the number 7, and unlucky he's trying to scoop the ball up and get away.
My left. Wait.
So Thomian third row not really imposing themselves on this game. Vagish Veerasinghe once again leading from the back of that scrum. Really putting in a shift, making a nuisance of himself, poaching the ball, doing everything that a coach would want from a smaller pack.
You have to form.
So again, as Shamli has been saying all match, it's just not steady the scrums. Isipathana don't want them to settle to allow this big pack to get a hit on them.
So Isipathana have got a new second rower. And you can see he's just a little bit higher than the other second rower. And now the scrum's not as stable as it was in the first half.
Well, it doesn't matter because they completely outshoved the St. Thomas's there. Bhuminda Dissanayake chooses to take it into contact, and Delisle runs a lovely support line.
Release!
And now the Thorntons have a blindside option again. Pandula De Silva. Here's Bhuminda Dissanayake with a long ball out once again to Mayan Jayawardene. Navin Henekan Kanamge spins out of a tackle. Chamod Fernando does well to hold him up.
Stay back.
And Senal De Silva finally gets to the ball. It took a while. Delisle straight through the middle. Christian Delisle. And now Thomians get a head of steam up. They've got the penalty coming because they played the halfback illegally in an offside position.
That was a good penalty to give away. They were cooked there on the outside on the left-hand side, and I think they had 1 versus 5. But they're still not out of trouble.
Pandula De Silva trying to barge his way over the line from close range. The skipper wants to inspire his troops just like his opposite number. Real pressure being exerted on the line, and the try is held up. Referee right on the spot. Irshad Kader right on the spot. The crowd behind the goalpost think it was good.
There was about 1,000 referees' assistants here in front of us, all telling him it was a try, but he was less than a metre away. And you can see here they've taken it, and they've really gone to the coalface here. They've all putting in a lot of hard work, and they're so close to the try line. And he almost gets over. Got to say that's got to be close to being on the line, but the referee's always the smartest one on the paddock.
And I think Adi Saviratunga did well to get his backside in the way of Irshad Kader's vision there. He doesn't have the luxury of the slow motion replays we do, so cut him some slack on that one for sure. But this is an important scrum, so Thomas's can't afford to give away a penalty. They have been outthought in the scrums despite their obvious size advantage. And that's a really good well, Vazi, interesting call there. Lifting, says the referee. Adisha Hadinpatrana drops the ball over the line. What outstanding defense once again from Kavisha Madhushan. St. Thomas's have really stormed this line, have been met with a fierce resistance. Watch it here. Adisha Hadinpatrana thinks he scored, but bang, the big hit coming in from Kavisha Madushan. Lodges the ball.
Rug ball. Stay back.
Got it once
Stay
again.
back. Rug ball. Stay back.
Third time of asking now. How long can this Isipathana defense hold? And there's a knock on from Ashwanta Herat. He's having a bit of a shocker today, it has to be said.
I think Shanaka Isipathana defense, I think did really well, but the scrum was not very good because Isipathana was really putting pressure, and I think they are getting tired and going upwards now.
It does give heart to your team if you can stay on your defence. You stay on your line and defend together like a band of brothers. It gives each other a pat on the back and says, you know, we're in this together, and they'll take heart from that. But they're still not out of trouble. They're putting the ball in. They still need to clear their lines.
Set. Steady.
St. Thomas's with essentially a 7-man scrum. Jatilaka can barely bind because of that fractured left arm of his.
Right.
So he's just leaning into.
So you have to get the control.
On the
otherwise, I have to
tight head side of the scrum.
I have to penalize. Okay, listen. You have to control yourself.
He's a man mountain though, so his lean normally is probably one of our pushers. So he just leans in and holds the whole thing steady. But
well, there goes my hopes of watching this match at home. Steady. I'm supposed to tell you all that England are leading Australia 23-7 at full time. Gonna have to find something else to do on Saturday night. Big kick from Randy Silva. The chase is on. Mayon Jayawardena does not deal with it at all well. Navin Henakam finally cleans it up, and Isipathana have gone like terriers at this ball but given away the penalty. Oh dearie me, St. Thomas's at 6s and 7s at the back, Paul. It's not looking good for them.
Well, everyone says the kick's only as good as its chases, and that was looking like a pretty ordinary kick there from your own try line, and you just sort of hack it straight up the field, straight up Fat Man's Alley. By 20 metres, but the chase was magnificent, and that's not giving up, and so they all piled through. But there you can see in the replay that they just had their hands on the ground as they were coming in over the ball and giving away that penalty.
Well, that's a good recovery, touch finder. St. Thomas's have asked all the questions. Log on to ThePapare.com at 6:30 p.m. every day for the recap, your daily sports update, which brings you the day's news and information from the sporting arena. So lots on offer here at ThePapare.com, not just a live action of this Singer Schools League, which has climaxed nicely now. The sun has gone down, nice and cool here. Oh, Wayne Mack leaves the ball behind for Pandula De Silva. And Christian Delisle.
Roll away.
Ball knocked forward there, but the referee was playing advantage.
And then we see that variation that St. Thomas's have, and we saw it at the line-out time where the first pod went up, and it looked like that's where the ball was going to go, and they just did a quick little throw to the front, and then looked like it was going to come back to the hooker, but the hand went in and knocked the ball down. But those variations, they offset a line-out, and you don't know what's going to come next, and you never know what's happening.
You can watch it here from the front, and that's the knock forward coming in from the Isipathana defender. Managed to get his hand in the way. Referee Carter did well to spot that. So someone needs to stand up for St. Thomas's, Asala.
Steady.
The backs have been a bit disappointing for the Thomians, especially Bhumindra Dissanayaka and Ashwanta Herat.
Oh, that is embarrassing. I'll tell you that much. For this Thomian pack, that is very embarrassing. Ashwanta Herat banging off the first defender, but they've done really well to keep him on his feet. Finally manages to go to ground.
Offside!
And Senal De Silva now has the whole forward pack on his right. They give it to Navin Henakan Kanamge, whose absence in the first 10 minutes of play led to 2 tries. And now they've gone to Bhuminda Disanaika again to Ashwanta Herath, who is once again held up beautifully by Kushan Indunil. How strong is this lad? They've picked him up off the ground and they're holding him up like a battering ram. Wayne Mack needs to find support. Hadun Patrana gets there eventually. And Senal De Silva to Shani Vahangama now. Ashwanta Herath straight up the middle. And Senal De Silva again a little late on the ball. And now they've got the turnover. Padmasankar puts his boot to it. Mayon Jayawardena has to hair back and just wins the football tackle. Padmasankar still stayed in the chase. And now it's available for Isipathana. It's not an accurate pass and Chamut Fernando has to go back, but they've still got the ball with an overlap. Gayan Vikabaratna puts it on his boot and there was a late charge. Navin Henakankanamge gets back. And the advantage is being played for the knock forward. Harit Bandar almost gets over the line, but Danuja Vijayaratna muscles him off the line. And now they're using their low body angles to try and work their way to the line. Isipathana turned defense into attack in a matter of seconds.
No. Ruck.
And the referee says held up, so the Isipathana crowd just by that corner flag. Anuranga Valpola, former coach Isipathana side to that runners-up position last year. They're out on their feet.
What a hectic phase of play there. St Thomas's were hard on attack and it looked like they might have been going over, and then all of a sudden the ball gets turned over and gets hacked away. And then the ball goes through the hands, and I really liked what the centre, I'm not sure who put the kick in, but he read what was in front of him, and there was a defensive line in front of him, but there wasn't anyone behind them, so he put the kick in, and that's where the space was, and that's why they're so close to the try line now.
Well,
that was, I think, Gayan, the fullback, did it, but I felt like when I spoke to Nilufer before the game, Nilufer was saying, I feel the St. Thomas's fullback is a little bit weak on getting position, so
only
I
1
think
minute.
I'm going to test that question. So I think they are doing it correctly today.
That's Gayan putting the kick in. And that's what I said at the introduction to the game. Nilufer Ibrahim studies the opposition so well. Knows exactly what their weak links are. Rankotge dragging Henakan Kanamge off the ball. He's not allowed to do that.
Crouch! Bind!
So Isipathana lucky to have the put in there.
Steady!
Got to wait until the man gets back onto his feet before you play him. And now Shani Vangama picks the ball up that comes off the ruck. He looks for an offload. There's no one there to help him. Isipathana attacking threes and fours, and Thomases are attacking mostly in ones. And now Sarit Nanayakara manages to bump off Kushan Indunil. Needs to protect this ball for dear life.
No entry!
No release, so the penalty is coming. Referee Irshad Kader standing in the passing channel. That's not helpful.
Number 2. Attend the back out side again.
And
Number
the penalty has come.
Tackle entry.
So midfield penalty. St. Thomas's really have to score to get them back into the game. But how long, Asala, do you think this Isipathana defensive line can hold? You can see that the players are out on their feet. St. Thomas's look in much better condition because they haven't been having to weather the storm as much. But do you think that Isipathana can hold on for the 80 minutes?
Well,
it doesn't matter because if St. Thomas's don't find touch, doesn't mean anything. Padmasankar with the left boot gets a lot of relief for his team there. And Bhuminda Disanaika, I have no idea why he chose to kick to Dhanuja Wijayaratna rather.
That's why I said earlier, Shanaka, I think the Thomian backs have been off colour today, especially Bhumindra Dissanayake as a fly-half. I think it's important for him to lead the team from the front, but hasn't been happening today.
Kushan Indulya now to Rankotge, uncharacteristic knock-on from Sumudu Rankotge. First time you've seen him in space and not being able to execute. Even he is human. And speaking of the Monaco Sevens that Sri Lanka is playing in that repechage, trying to qualify their way into, it's a really uncharacteristic knock-on, trying to play their way into the Rio Sevens. Germany have beaten Sri Lanka by 42 points to 5. Sri Lanka play Canada in the next game, and up in Pallekele, St. Peter's are leading Trinity by 19 points to 15 at 50 minutes. And the Royal College have allowed Science back into the game, and it's 17 points all at Havelock Park. So a lot of excitement on this final day of the league. Everybody playing for the league position above them. So you can imagine how much pressure there is. St. Thomas's playing to win, St. Peter's playing to win, St. Anthony's playing to win, and St. Peter's playing to win and go above their rivals in the league standing, so that league can look completely different when we show it to you on Monday. And again, St. Thomas is lucky to escape there because the scrum is just being walked all over, Wazi. This is not something you see very often, that this big Thomian pack just getting completely outshoved.
Yes, Shanaka, I think Isipathana forwards are doing really well, and when before the start of the game, as I said to you, Shanaka, if the forwards play the best game they played last week, I think Isipathana packs will do the rest. So I think the forwards are delivering today for Isipathana.
Pravin Ferdinando comes on in the centres for Sarit Nanayakara, and Wayne Mack goes off, making way for Abhita Pilapitiya.
Let's see how the scrum goes now for St. Thomas's. See if they've got it out of reverse and at least into first gear.
Break up. Boys, you have to count on.
Well, I have to say the referee has got to lay down the law here, Paul, because there's a lot of little hanky-panky going on in the front row from both teams.
Right, ready, again.
They're not setting, they're not steady. Both really wary of one another, so ref's got to pick that up.
Set! Steady, steady.
He's given only one free kick. Ball is out, and Ashwanta Hera takes it on the crash ball. That's been their preferred tactic. Pandula De Silva, Shani Vahangama breaks one tackle. Navin Henakan Kanamge was herring up on the right, and now Vagesh Veerasinghe. The tackle was missed by Bhumindra Dissanayake, but Ferdinando will catch him, but not before he scores the try. Vagesh Veerasinghe, how he managed to catch that ball, I don't know, but he did, and he had down the line, and my goodness, what resolve from the young man. He's been an absolute talisman, and he just can't go on because he's left it all out there. He's probably throwing up there, Paul, because he's worked so hard. But what a try, and that may just seal the game for Isipathana.
It's actually just reward for that man. He's had a great season, and he's so tenacious. But here we see the ball security, or lack of ball security here for St. Thomas's. Ball just half goes back, pops out the side. He gets a little, maybe 1 metre to have a go, and uses all everything he has, basically everything, to get down to the try line. A fantastic try and great spirit by that player.
Vagesh Veerasinghe, take a bow, young man. You have belied the 60 kilos and the 5'9" that it says on your profile. and you've played like an absolute giant. Is that the game, Vazi?
I feel Shanaka, if this conversion is through, I think the lead is very healthy for Isipathana, but there is more time.
Just under 15 minutes left on the clock as Gayan Vikramaratne takes his important conversion. Isipathana crowd obviously silent, the Thomian crowd stunned into disbelief. And Vikramaratne's conversion is no good, so a sliver of hope perhaps for the Thomians if they score 2 goals. It's 26 and then it's everything to play for. Another long pass to Shani Vahangam, and you watch the kick through here from Chamud Fernando. It was completely legal because the ruck hadn't formed, and he just had the presence of mind to boot that ball through. Lovely work once again. Devin Gunaratne puts the little chip kick in. The chase is good for Isipathana. They've still got it. Chamud Fernando. And now the try. Oh, there's a knock on with the line beckoning. Adish Aviratunga, he's been so good in the line out. Just didn't manage to grab at that one. But once again, the Thomian team looks like it's gone to pieces.
I think Shanaka Devin did a great run, and I think he is showing much skills than I think his elder brother, because that punt was a great look at that run.
It was an excellent run, and his kick there, he saw that there's space on the other side, and an excellent kick. And this, although it was a little bit speculative, they managed to recycle the ball, and they had extra numbers here. The pass went out wide, catch and pass, and you're over, but he wasn't able to.
Okay, again.
I felt Isipathana wanted to score the try sooner, so they missed that guy. Otherwise, this catch pass would be an easy try for Isipathana.
Well, Asala, much has been said and written about the Thomian grit. They'll need to find an extra bucket load of it now.
Steady.
The problem is they're more than 2 goals away, and with the spirit the Isipathana team has shown, especially at the scrums and lineouts, coming into the game, that was the advantage for the Thomians, and during the match it has reversed. So that's a worrying factor for the Thomians.
When I give him to the penalty, you have to keep the ball and go.
Having a word with Vagish Veerasinghe and advancing the penalty. Veerasinghe has done so well, he'd want to be on the park for the whole game. It'd be silly for him to be sent off, to allow himself to be sent off. Nothing off at the referee. But the Dishanayaka has been disappointing today. That 10-12 combination for St. Thomas's has just not sparked. Haven't been able to create anything, as Vazi was saying earlier, to allow Hena Kankanam to run riot. And that's the long ball out to Ferdinando. Hena Kankanam now stands up. His opposite number, but Sumudu Rankotke once again with outstanding defense. We've seen Navin do it to so many defenders, where he stands them up and just burns them on the outside. No chance of getting away with the fend or the step or the swerve from Rankotke, who makes his second important tackle on the top try scorer of the season.
You'll see them in defence. You might not see it on screen, but you see it if you hear at the ground that as soon as the ball goes out to the centre, Rankotke leaves his part, he leaves the centre and goes straight out to the wing, and so doubles up on Nevin, and he doesn't really have a chance, and just lets the defence on the inside take care of the defenders on the inside.
Ball is knocked forward. Jayatilaka at the back also has obviously been suffering from that injury. He hasn't been able to latch onto the ball as quickly as he would like at the back of that scrum, which has been put under severe pressure by the Isipathana forwards. And for the first time in history, ThePapare.com sponsors the Under-19 Schools Basketball Tournament, the Papare Basketball Championship, from 8th to 17th July. You can follow the live webcast from the quarterfinals onwards. That's from the 8th to the 17th. 16 points adrift, St. Thomas's.
Fine.
Dion Dias is on the park.
Steady. Steady.
Can he spark some magic? That's a much better scrum from the Thomians. And now Hena Kankanamge comes in off his wing. Runs straight into his nemesis. Ahangama carried the ball a lot, but abrogated some of his flanker duties today. Handun Pathirana, De Silva. The ball is behind Senanayaka, but he manages to get away, but again using the touchline to good effect. Chamot Fernando. They've really been intelligent about the way they've approached this defence, Paul.
That's right, but St Thomas's aren't doing themselves any favours. The ball seems to be just a little bit behind, so either their alignment isn't right. So here's the pass, and the player has to stop. So the ball really needs, if you want to run onto the ball, it needs to be in front of you, and you can run onto it. But it means that you've got to have your depth right, and there was an example where neither the depth wasn't right or the pass.
Kavisha Madhushan has taken over the throwing duties from Mapitagama. They fake nicely. They've done that a couple of times now, and that move doesn't go as well as planned. Probably the first time we've seen attacking deficiencies from that centre partnership. Adun Pathirana met in a massive gang tackle.
Stay back.
Christian Delisle.
Tackle! Release!
Not being his usual self at the breakdown, although he's carried more this game.
Now release! Roll away!
Wanders into the midst of a ferocious defense. Ashwanta Herat now gives it away to
release! Ruck ball! Move back!
Chiranta Abe Vikrama, who's on the park. Pandula De Silva spins nicely out of one tackle. Needs to get his team over the line now.
Tackle! Release! Stay back.
Dion Dias once again.
No,
trying to slip around the corner.
Down! Get down!
And such body strength to lift him off the ground. Pandula De Silva. Disanayaka. Ferdinando. Danuja Vijayaratna. Inside ball is no good. Just not holding on to the balls on Thomas's, but that's the second time a Thomian player has been picked up to the horizontal. And for a team that prides itself on its physicality, Paul, that's not going to be something they'd want to remember.
No, but the last couple of phases, that's sort of more what I thought St Thomas's was going to play like. They'd hold on to the ball and start knocking it up, and here they take a quick tap, and they need to get points here.
They absolutely need to get points to have some glimmer of hope in this final. Dion Dias.
Release!
Delisle trying to step his way to the line. Sachita Jayatilaka so dangerous from close range, but the Isipathana defense is holding. The green wall has held for so many minutes. Ferdinando trying to get over the line. Navin Henakankanamge comes away with the ball and manages to lay it back on the Thomian side. Pandula De Silva. The penalties are coming thick and fast now. Danuja Vijayaratna standing at first receiver. Again the defense is holding. Delisle. Vagi Savira Singha comes in. Padmasanka comes in off his wing. And that's got to be a yellow card for Isipathana. It's a cynical foul.
Wait.
And Vikramaratna goes to the bin. I don't think he'd mind that because he's done his job. And giving away that penalty was probably a better option than conceding the try outright. Ahangama cuts back inside because the pass was behind him.
Release! Roll away! Scrum down.
And the try, the scrum will go to St Thomas's, and it was held up over the line.
Well, no one's told St Thomas's that this game's over, that's for sure. They're giving it a go, and that's what they always do. They always go right to the end, and they don't believe that they've lost yet. They can still score a try, and they can still score another try, and they can still come back, and that's the spirit that St Thomas's have shown all year. And we have a look at the replay, and you just need to make sure that the players keep getting back in depth, and they try here. And the defensive line from Isipathana is up so quickly, isn't it? It's
a little too quickly, I think, Paul, in these stages of the game.
That was the yellow card there, the player coming in and just being in the wrong position, and it was deemed cynical. Now we need St Thomas's set piece to go to work here and have a steady scrum, and really they'll want their forwards to stamp their mark on this game again. At least try and for the last 5 minutes say that we are the bigger forward pack and try and dominate the scrum at least.
Step back. You got to move.
Well, credit to Isipathana, Paul. They are front runners to win this game now, but with a smaller set of forwards, with one of their biggest men being taken off with an injury, they've still hung in there, put their bodies on the line, and managed to really upset St Thomas's at the set piece. That wasn't anywhere near 10 meters. That is Chiranta Abhivikrama, the big man that Laga has sent in off the bench.
Throw away.
Bhuminda Disanaika. Here's Ferdinando with a terrible pass out. Henakan Kanamge trying to fight his way to the line. A desperate tackle made. Here's Ferdinando who threw that shocker. Dion Dias, Tanuja Vijayaratne. Everybody wants to go to the line themselves. And that's got to be another yellow, surely. Yes, it is.
Wait.
And Ekanayaka goes to the bin, and that's a big blow for Isipathana. Is it too little, too late, though?
We're down to 13. They need a little bit of organisation here, St Thomas's. They have numbers out wide on lots of occasions, and they have a quick tap, and the man sort of bounces almost over, and the referee gives the try. And so that was a relentless attack from St Thomas's, and something was going to give, and they believe that as they're running back, they've still got an opportunity.
Well, there's still time on the clock, it would appear. St Thomas's have been down and out before against Royal College, but that was just by one score. This is by 3.
And here we see the quick tap, and sort of looks.
Oh, wow.
And just sort of sneaks the ball over the line, and the referee was right there. So I think he bounced on the line and then bounced backwards, and there you saw the ball just goes over here.
You got to kick. No. Hey. You got to play.
All right. If you say so, Paul.
There, is it?
If you say so, Paul. It's a brave man to give that one.
Well,
brave man to give that try.
The referee gave that one, so it looked like it might have been a try.
And now they go out wide to Danuja Vijayaratne. They throw the pass out. And we've got to think about a man of the match. Obviously has to come from the Isipathana team. And Paul, what's your call?
I think the skipper has led from the front. He's done everything right. He's almost been invisible in the second half, but in the first half he led his team with the accuracy and the precision that they needed. And in the second half he's almost been invisible because he's been in there doing all the hard work. Close run between him and the number 8 for Isipathana as well.
Vasi, I know you were a number 8, so who are you going to favour?
I think I'll favour the number 8 because his turnovers, one try in the first half, and the try he scored was individual brilliance. I think defensive was
Asala, your vote?
I'll have to go with the Isipathana captain because he has been, I think, doing a lot of hard work, and I think the leadership is what mattered here the most, keeping the boys calm today at this mega event.
Well, it's 2 votes apiece. So Sabir, our producer, casts the deciding vote. And Sabir says Vagish Veerasinghe as well. The game is not over. You never know whether one of these guys will break the deadlock with a moment of brilliance. So for the moment, it's Vagish Veerasinghe, our man of the match.
Step back.
Isipathana number 8, who has been outstanding, created a try in the opening minutes with his turnover, and then scored another scorching try. Lovely pass out to Navin Henekankanamge. A lovely tackle again by Veerasinghe. Managed to ankle tap him. He's cramping up all over the place, the young lad. And Hadin Patrana leaves that ball behind, and generously referee Carter says that it went backwards. Ashwanta Herath passes it off the top. Mayan Jayawardene at a walking pace now. Henekankanamge has nowhere to go.
Roll away!
Chiranta Bevikrama.
Stay back.
Danuja Vijayaratne now with a little bit of space. Stepping nicely, the big man. Runs into a sandwich between Kushan Indunil and his own player, Delisle. And now it's Chiranta Bevikrama who comes back on the angle, runs straight into the breakdown. Might have hurt a few people. Pandula De Silva now with the long ball over the top. They're looking for Henekankanamge, but he's no magician. He's just a winger. And now Pandula De Silva once again trying to inspire something for this forward pack that has been well beaten for several minutes of the game. Ferdinando straightening is Ahangama, or Zaitilaka rather.
No, hey.
Chiranta Bevikrama. Mayan Jayawardene with a nice ball out. Delisle just didn't have time to give it because Isipathana defense was so good. And Adisha Veeratunga came straight in at the side, and I'm surprised there's no other yellow card coming in as well. There's 2 men in the bin for the Pathanians. Another long ball over the top. Henekankanamge steps and goes over. But again, is it too little too late? This will take it up to 24 and give them a ghost of a chance. But with 13 men on the park, do Isipathana have enough? Henekankanamge gets his try, but not in the circumstances that he would want to. Dion Dias. And they're not taking the conversion because the match is over. And Isipathana are league champions. The green wave pours out from the fencers. And my goodness, didn't they deserve this win?
That's right, Shanika. It was a well-deserved win, and they were more accurate. They were a little bit more urgent. And there's more of the scenes that we don't like to see where supporters aren't happy with how the referees refereed the game, and they've got to understand that rugby's all about making sure that the referee is the sole arbitrator of all decisions in the field, and his word and his decisions are above reproach, and his protection is paramount.
Warden Billy Morea trying to compose himself. He wanted this win more than anything. Had the Royal Thomian snatched cruelly away by a brilliant Royal performance, and now a brilliant Isipathana performance has derailed the Thomian title ambitions. 28 points to 24, just one score in it at the end. But that opening blitz, just a little bit too much for St. Thomas's to come back from. A key yellow card for Navin Henekankanamge in the first couple of minutes of the game opened the doorway for Chamod Fernando and Sumudu Rankotke to run riot on the left flank, which is exactly what they did. And then the Isipathana green wall stood firm in the face of the Thomiyan barrage. And a few errors, not a few, a fair few errors, Paul, and Isipathana run out deserved winners, you'd have to say.
That's right. And as it on the screen, it's congratulations to Isipathana, and they're well deserved. They showed real grit last week. They showed real grit again this week, and they just played a little bit smarter. Their forwards were a bit smarter. They took it to the St Thomas pack in the scrum, in their set piece. Their backs were alive. Their defence was really alert, and it was up really fast off their line. They just seemed to have outthought St Thomas's, but St Thomas's played their own hand in their demise in that their accuracy wasn't there. The passing was astray. They seemed to run across field. They had an overlap often in the last 10 minutes, and they just didn't make the most of their numbers, so that they started drifting across sideways, or else they wouldn't pass the ball, so they get white line fever. So that was disappointing for them, and they were lucky to get that close, actually, just 4 points in it.
Asala, the long wait continues. What are your thoughts on the game?
Well, I think the Thomians lost the match from the kickoff itself. Because if you watch the game from the start, none of the Thomiyan forwards wanted that ball, and the mindset or coming into this match, I think the concentration level, they didn't get into it properly, and even the three quarters were uncharacteristic. They were off colour, especially Bhumendra Dissanayake, who has been fantastic this season. Even Ashwant Herath, Naveen Henakankanage didn't have any opportunity to run. All credit to the Isipathana line. They contained the three quarters very well. Even the forwards, they just massacred the entire Thomiyan 8. So hats off to the men in green. They outplayed the Thomiyans in every aspect.
That was something you probably didn't expect at the start of the game, Vazi, that they would completely dominate this Thomiyan pack the way they did. But how do you manage to make a tiny team perform such a big thing?
I think the forwards were given a task today to do what they did last week to the Royal team, because Royal was rated one of the best forward packer in this whole competition, and they fought them really well. And they were given a task to take the challenge up to the St Thomas forwards well. So I think the forwards won the game for Isipathana today. And even main fault I saw in the St Thomas team was they were throwing the ball towards Naveen. When they had center, they were missing it, going it wide. So then every time Naveen got the ball, he had two defenders in front of him. I think it was one of the problems that St Thomas Naveen couldn't do anything till the last moment.
Well, if you've missed this dramatic game, here are the highlights for you on Dialogue TV and ThePapare.com. Adisha Veeratunga rising to score the first try for Isipathana there, or set it up with a lovely catch. And it was Vagisha Veerasinghe at the back, his first try of the game. We'd almost forgotten that. At the back of that excellently executed rolling maul. Veerasinghe throws the ball up, reminds the Thomiyan defender who rolled that one over as well. Vikram Ratna had the good conversion, and here's the turnover ball. Again, the turnover won by Veerasinghe, and Ashwanta Herath with not a good effort on Sumudu Rankotge, and he just let Chamod Fernando run under the post. It must be such a pleasure playing outside these wingers, these centres rather.
That's right, they make it look good, and that's what all good centres do. They make wingers get in. And here we see more inaccuracy from St Thomas's there. Just came in from the side at that ruck and was offside. And here St Thomas's start to fight back, so they work their way back into the game. There's one try there where they went down one way and then they cut back down the blind side. And then they came in again with another one where there was just a little tap move 5 metres from the try line and just managed to barge over again. But
Satya Jayatilaka and Dhanuja Vijayaratna scoring the 2 tries for St Thomas's, and here's where things went awry for them. Chamod Fernando pulled down there very obviously by Adisha Handunpatirana, and the penalty came, and this was probably the score that took the wind out of that fight back, and that was the drop over the line. Again, Handunpatirana dropping the ball once he was well over the line, and here's a defensive mix-up. Bhumendra Dissanayake and Henakankanamge when Mayon Jayawardena hadn't gotten back. And here's a turnover. Chamod Fernando just flicking that ball with his boot. And Vagish Veerasinghe's 80-meter run. Absolutely no gas in the tank, but he still managed just to bounce up after Bhumendra Dissanayaka's ankle tap and go over in the face of Ferdinando's challenge for the try that sealed the game for Isipathana. He went down like a sack of bricks after that because he just absolutely spent himself. But these are the scenes you'd love to see, Paul.
Well, as a coach, you'll be telling him that he can put the ball in the outside arm, and then he might be able to have a fin and might have shown a clean pair of heels. But here we go. That was the open side flanker who caught the ball from the kickoff and just went straight through the defence and managed to put a kick in. And this would have really sealed the game here. The ball went out wide. It was one pass. If it went through the hands, we would have had a try. But he just managed to drop the ball there, and that was a mistake. But for me, it was the defence of Isipathana that really did it. And
well, that's the try that Paul insists was scored. The rest of us in the commentary box weren't so sure. The referee was, though. That's all that mattered.
And here we have this is the lead up for the last try, I believe. I know this might be the beginning of penalty after penalty that Isipathana gave away defensively, and it led to them having two players being yellow carded. But here it comes wide and comes to Henan Kankanange, and he just goes through one weak tackle and takes one man over, and that really set up that close finish and got them within 4 points, but the clock was up.
Yes, that was the end of that, and you could see there's no celebration there, so he knew it as well. Ashwant Herat didn't even attempt the conversion. There was no point at the time, and these are the scenes of jubilation as the green wave pours over the fence. And you can see Kushan Indranil getting congratulated by the crowd there. They surrounded the referee, which is not something we like to see at all, because I thought the referee had a decent day overall. He didn't affect the outcome of the game in any way or form. Few calls here and there, but then that's any game for you.
Yeah, it got a little bit desperate near the end when Isipathana were on their own try line and they were defending and they were infringing a lot, and two players were sent off, and that's not something you'd like to see. Where you'd really like to see the referee to take control there and say to the captain, look, this isn't going to work. If you keep doing this, I'm going to start sending players off, and you don't want to see two players get put in the bin.
So, Asala, you think that Isipathana won this, or do you think St. Thomas has lost it? This is, it's pretty clear who won and lost on the key stats there. St. Thomas's 24, Isipathana 28. And at halftime, Isipathana were leading by 20 points to 12. So actually being outscored in the second half, the Pathanians, but their defense held. St. Thomas has scored 4 tries and 2 conversions. And Isipathana managed 3 tries, 2 conversions, and it was the penalties that really made a difference for them. That's where the game was won and lost. So some key errors on defense for St. Thomas's as well.
Certainly key errors for the Thomians, not only in their defense but also in their attack. They barely knew what to do. They did go with the blindside ploys more often than not, but it didn't basically give them results. As we discussed before, they missed a lot of players, sending the ball out wide to the wing 3 quarters, which was not the order of the day, because they had the games at the defensive plan for Isipathana was straight to attack, pressurize the centres and move towards the wing, and basically they gave in to the hands of the Isipathana defence.
Yeah, that was uncanny the way that they managed to botch that up almost every time, Paul. So Coach Laga back in the dressing room after a lot of expectation from this game. How do you console these boys and bring them back to the knockout tournament?
Well, it was almost like they were they started to believe their own press. Everyone said that they were the favourites, St. Thomas's, and they went out there and it looked like they didn't take the game by the scruff of the neck. They just went out there to play the game and thought it was going to come to them. They didn't go there to win.
Yes, it was mentally that they lost it, but we'll be back after the small commercial break with the presentation of the Singer Schools rugby title.
Live international rugby Saturday on Setanta Sports. For the second week running, the All Blacks take on Wales.
And this time it's Dane Coles bursting through the middle.
Then two old foes go head to head when the Wallabies face England.
Cross to Joe Tamani!
And later, Ireland try to contain the fast-running Springboks.
Trio bursting through! Jesse Trio! Wow!
Live international rugby Saturday on Setanta.
To activate this channel, use the Dialog Self-Care app or type on space your Dialog television account number, space channel number and SMS to 679 from your Dialog mobile or 0770 679 679 from any other mobile network.
පවුලට සතුට සදන සිඟ අත විශිෂ්ට විශ්වාසය.
Well, we're back with the live action as we wait for the presentation ceremony to start. We've witnessed the end of an outstanding game of rugby, a superb dominant performance by a smaller underdog Isipathana pack, taking the fight to St. Thomas's, this big pack of forwards that came here expecting to dominate. And as we look at the scenes from that win, you can see Nilüfer Ibrahim, former Kingswoodian himself, leading the shout of ISIPATANA. That's the Isipathana call for you. And the crowd is absolutely delirious here. The Isipathana crowd complaining before the game of the high ticket prices that St. Thomas's had imposed on. They didn't stop any of them coming into the ground, I'll tell you that much, and they poured out onto the park to congratulate the team that deserved to win today, Paul. It was a really gutsy game of rugby.
That's right, they came here with real intent. It was money well spent by all the supporters getting in and being part of this, and you can hear the celebrations going on outside, and it'll continue long into the night, I'm sure. But you saw their intent with their defensive play. They got up off the line, they defended their own line like their lives depended on it, and they really went to work in every single phase of the game. As we spoke about earlier, St. Thomas's didn't start the game well. The ball bounced and no one called for the ball. So that's the communication and that's the unity that you sort of want. You want, especially in finals time, you want your team to feel like you're one unit. And when two players are there and the ball drops on the ground, you know that they're not together. They're not quite there. But you saw real unity, especially in the packet for Isipathana. They're smaller, they're more compact, but they got lower. Their scrum, they drove through the St. Thomas's scrum often. They really held themselves, and also their line-out did really well as well. So the variety that they used in the line-out to either to get up and contest or else to drive at line-out time was excellent as well.
And that was a good comeback actually, Paul, from the fact that St. Thomas's completely drove through the Isipathana scrum on the first scrum of the game. And we thought, hey, this is the beginning of a long afternoon for this small Isipathana pack. But they just completely drove over them and they managed to withstand that. But we're at the presentation ceremony with Haritha Pereira now. And the awards will be given away. The chief guests have just managed to come onto the podium. Michael Jasekar is the man who will give away the big prize. And we'll move downstairs to Haritha in just a moment as the Isipathana team managed to wend their way back through their supporters. Denzel Darling, who is one of the SLSRFA officials, on the phone desperately trying to gather everyone around. Kushan Idril, the jubilant captain. He seemed the more confident of the two when we spoke to them at the start of the game, Paul.
The first presentation is for the player of the final. They have been some outstanding players. We take this opportunity to cordially invite Michael Jayasekara to make the presentation. He has been a national player, Michael, and he has won colours for cricket and rugby at St. Thomas's. There has been some outstanding running rugby in this game, and we thank you for all the both teams. But the adjudicators have picked on the one guy who scored 2 tries. He's number 8 from Isipathana, Wagisha Veerasinghe. Wagisha Veerasinghe. Wonderful performance, thank you very much. It has been a great game of rugby, well played. This is the school that scored 52 tries coming into this game. We congratulate Wagisha and thank Mr. Michael Jayasekara, our chief guest for the occasion. The Singer League 2016 Division 1 Group A, the runner-up trophy is to be presented. This opportunity to cordially invite Mr. B.A. Aberatna, the president of the Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Football Association, to make this presentation. They came into this game as another of the 2 unbeaten teams. They had to fight it all the way. They couldn't make it right up, but nevertheless, runners-up, Singer Premier League Division 1 Group A. St. Thomas's, may we welcome Pandula De Silva, the captain of the Thomian team. May we welcome the captain of St. Thomas's. Will you come and please collect this trophy? Pandula De Silva, we welcome you to come and take this trophy. Thank you. Thank you, Isipathana. You have been outstanding. We appreciate your wonderful play on and off the field.
Champion trophy එක මිනිස්ටර්යි MD දෙන්නවා. ඒකට both school principals ලා
Thomian captain Pandula De Silva receiving the runner-up trophy from B.A. Aberatna. Outstanding season for them. They beat Isipathana in the 7s, but not today. Congratulations. St. Thomas's, we congratulate you. We thank Mr. B.A. Aberatna. The big trophy to be presented now. We cordially invite Thank you. Please be silent. Thank you. Thank you very much, Isipathana. We cordially invite Honorable Dasari Jayasekara together with Mr. Mahesh Vijayawardena, the Director Marketing and Commercial of Singer Sri Lanka, who's been the proud sponsors, in the presence of the 2 school heads and Mr. B.A. Aberatna and Mr. Michael Jayasekara. If you would just come in front, the trophy to be presented. They have been the team to beat. They stayed here, came to this match unbeaten, took the lead, preserved it at half-time, got the better in the second half. They scored the most number of tries in this season. So here we are, year 2016, Singer Premier League, Division 1, Group 1A champions, Isipathana! Roshan Indunil, the captain, receiving it on behalf of his team. A wonderful outfit. They have played a superb brand of rugby. රෝෂාන් වචනයක් කියන්න ඕන. මේ ඇවිල්ලා කෙනක ඔබ කණ්ඩායම වෙනුවෙන් වචනයක් කියන්න.
අතරම ගොඩක් සතුටු වෙනවා. මොකද මේ වගේ ටීම් එකක් අතරම රැගෙන මොකද මම ඔවුන් කරනවා. මේ වගේ ටීම් වර්ක් එකක් විතර ගන්න. මගේ කවදාක ભેදයක් නැති මේ වගේ ටීම් එකක් මගේ ඉතිහාසයක් දැකලා මොකද මම ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා මගේ ලියුසර්ට වැඩියෙන්ම මොකද අපිත් එක්ක හැම ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඉදිරියේම අපිත් එක්ක හිටියට ලොකු ප්‍රශ්න ගොඩක් නැද්ද ඒකට මම ගොඩක් ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා ඒ වගේම මගේ ඉතිවල රග්බි කමිටු එකට වඩාත් ස්තුතිවන්ත ඒ වගේම එලකෝදි වගේමට මොකද ඇත්තටම අපි ගොඩක් උත්සාහවත් වුණා මේ දැනට ඉන්න මොකද ලොකු ටීම් වර්ක් එකක් ඇත්තටම මට ගොඩක් සතුටුයි Gak gila, beda gak 6 bulan. Peksan ඇත්තරම මම ගොඩක් ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා. අපි දිනවත් කරලා මේ විදිහට හැමදාම මේ විදිහට ඉන්න එක. ඔය කියන්නේ ඉසිපතන අත්තර ඉන්න එපා. ඉන්න අපිත් එක්ක හැමදාම මේ විදිහට සපෝට් එකක් දෙන්න. Thank you.
Wonderful from the school at Havelock Town. We thank the Honourable Minister Dasari Jayasekara for being here. Thank you, sir. Volleyball එකේ සියවසස ඒක සර් මුල් වෙලා කරන්න. It has been a wonderful performance from everybody. We thank the distinguished invitees for being here with us. The match was shown on ThePapare.com and Dialogue TV. There will be a repeat telecast tomorrow. So everybody, on behalf of St. Thomas's Rugby, we thank you for being here with us and good night.
Milford Ibrahim and Henry Torrance raising that trophy aloft, the trophy they've worked so hard for, the trophy that 8 teams worked so hard for, Paul, but only one team can win in the end. And given the performance that they brought out in the last 2 weeks against 2 very dominant teams, it looks like Isipathana are well-deserved winners of this trophy.
That's right, they really had to go to work last week with in the forward pack and also this week again, and they dominated both games, the forwards for Isipathana, so they're deserved winners for this trophy, and it's the time of their lives. They'll remember this day for the rest of their lives. Look at the smiles on their faces. They're having such a great time. And, as a team, this really gels them all together. And as they lead the chant of their own school, it just gels them together for the rest of their life.
Well, that's exactly what the captain said as well. He said that his team stuck together regardless of any obstacles that they had to face, and in his 5 years of playing, he's never come across a team environment that has been so united in the face of everything. So it shows that that all came together on the field, and for St. Thomas's, that's probably something that they've got to go and look back at, that they didn't come together as a unit when the time was right for it.
That's right, and really that's what rugby's all about, is being able to play as a unit and play as one, where there's trust between teammates and there's communication, and it's free flowing, and you're just trying to promote your own teammates basically the whole time. And where there's 14 players, and they're all trying to get their teammate over the line to score the try, and it's really about being a selfless team member, where everything you do is for the betterment of the team, and I feel that that's what Isipathana have got here. They've got a team that gives to each other the whole time. The sacrifice there. You see the sacrifice that they have in their play, where they give everything they can.
Yes, indeed they do. They didn't leave an ounce on the field. They're not a team that's going to die wandering, and they've found this new burst of energy from somewhere. They'll feel this all tomorrow morning, because their bodies have taken an absolute beating today, but they have found the energy for the celebration tonight, and long may it go on. Just to tell you about what happened from the other games, a surprise win for St. Peter's over Trinity College in the Lions Zone Den, 29 points to 20, which means that they will leapfrog Trinity into 5th place Royal College just managing to beat Science College in a close game, 29 points to 22, which means that Royal will finish in third position in the Singer Schools League. So it's Isipathana at number 1, St. Thomas's at number 2, Royal at number 3, Science College at 4, St. Peter's at 5, Trinity at 6, and we don't yet know the result between St. Anthony's and Wesley, but we'll bring you all that on the breakdown, which we'll wrap up over the course of the week. So that's the end of our broadcast here from the Dialogue commentary box for Dialogue TV and ThePapare.com. From Paul Toya and myself, Shana Kamarasinghe, it's goodbye from Longdon Place.
Live international rugby Saturday on Setanta Sports. For the second week running, the All Blacks take on Wales.
And this time it's Dane Coles bursting through the middle.
Then two old foes go head to head when the Wallabies face England.
Cross to Joe Tamani.
And later, Ireland try to contain the fast-running Springboks.
And Trio bursting through. Jesse Trio. Wow.
Live international rugby Saturday on Setanta.
To activate this channel, use the Dialogue Self-Care app or type on space your Dialogue television account number, space channel number and SMS to 679 from your Dialogue mobile or 0770 679 679 from any other mobile network.
මුල් පවුලට සතුට සදන සිංහ අති විශිෂ්ට විශ්වාසය